All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you all see me? Most importantly, can you all hear me? Oh, homie's coming through right now. Oh, snap. I'm seeing y'all been spamming the hell out of that like button and we haven't even started. Oh, but leave it to the homie Daniel Pack to make sure everybody's synced up. While I was AFK, just getting my beverages ready for tonight, this homie Daniel Pack came through with a $5 super chat saying, make sure y'all like to stream. Daniel Pack, as always, brother, thank you so much for your donation. And thank you so much for reminding people about that like button. But I'm seeing a lot of homies in here. Shout out. Asbel, Launt, B. Reed, Stellar, Snorlax, DWTV, Bootleg Proto Culture, Dimwit Monkey. Always a pleasure to see you, brother. Julian Harris, what's going on, bro? Arson, made it just in time. Yes, you did, man. Yes, you did. No, last 30 seconds of the stream or something. Lucky Diamond, what's going on, big homie? How you doing? Oh, Ryan, what's going on, bro? What did Dimwit Monkey say? Damn, I was just about to go chase raccoons, but I gotta stay in now. You know, speaking of raccoons, Dimwit Monkey, if you actually are serious about your love for trash pandas, there's this guy on YouTube who I just started watching during the quarantine, and his whole YouTube channel is just him hanging out with raccoons and then feeding them food. And it's insane because he'd have like 40 raccoons on him at once. Bro, it's the craziest shit out there. I think this guy lives up in Canada, but man, it's some of the most wholesome content you will ever see, bro. It's just this one old guy sitting in his, it looks like a cabin, but it's probably just his house. And he has friends that are raccoons and he feeds them every day. It's crazy. If you guys want to get some wholesomeness in your life, definitely do that. And if you want to see some smoke, you want to get that just genuine 100% organic smoke, head over to the homie Adventures of New Yokio's YouTube channel because he be giving out that smoke on the daily. Tony, what's going on, brother? Shout out. How you doing, man? How you doing? That's right. It is Mortal Kombat Day today, you guys. It's Mortal Kombat Day. It's Falcon and Soldier Falcon and Soldier. See, I've gotten so used to abbreviating that shit. Instead of saying the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I just say Falcon Winter Soldier. It's much easier. And yet I stumble over my words. But that season finale just wrapped up. And then Invincible dropped another episode as well. I got to catch up on Invincible. I'm like 3 weeks behind, which freaking sucks. But, you know, it's just good quality entertainment all around. Well, I don't know about Mortal Kombat. I heard it's actually pretty mid. Maybe you guys can elaborate on it in the comments section. But yeah, I appreciate you coming through, Tony. I appreciate that, brother, man. You know, because you a busy guy. I know you be writing those verses on the daily, man. You over there with the pen and paper, old school, bro. That's how it is. But what's going on, people? Happy Friday, everyone. Hope y'all had a good week. Hope y'all have a good weekend. If you just coming through for 5 minutes, what's up? If you staying through for the long haul, well, you know what? We might as well just dive straight into this intro. What's going on, people? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. If y'all are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to Ask Neo. Ask Neo is my weekly Q&A series because we've been doing it on a consistent basis now. I can say it's weekly, where you guys ask me questions and I try my best to answer them. Now, before we dive into the usual shtick that we do here, I do have some housekeeping. Down below in the video description, you guys will find a couple of links per interest. So all of my social media channel outlets, from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, that's going to be all down in the video description. Out of all the social media outlets, I am the most active on Twitter. I maintain that Twitter is the best social media app. There's so much fuckery that goes on Twitter. You see a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, and then you hear this dude Tony trying his best. He's trying his best, and sometimes he hits, and then other times he misses. But go give my homie Tony New Yokio a follow on Twitter, because that's the homie right there. In addition to that, I have links for a couple of ways that you guys can support me from Patreon, in addition to a direct donation link. If you guys are enjoying the channel and you want to give back, that's the best way you guys can do that. I don't really harp on that shit too much because, you know, I just do this shit for fun. And the fact that you guys donate is a plus on top of that, but all that money gets donated back into the channel for our Discord server, the Phantom Weirdos, so we can maintain that nitro status and all that cool stuff, and a whole bunch of other things that we have planned in the future. It's going to be a very, very busy next couple of months for the channel, and I know I've been saying that, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm a type of person, I don't want to say anything before it's like definitively official, because then you end up with egg on your face, like 343 Industries. But anyways, I digress. In addition to that, we have, no, that's basically all the links that we have down there. I'm getting really good at speed rolling through this shit because it's like my least favorite part of the podcast, just to sit there and talk about ways that you guys can follow me and support the channel. I'm just like, nah, man. We're here to have fun. And shout outs to the super chats. We already got another super chat coming in from Dimwit Monkey, $5. This for the homies. Hentai is art in the eyes of God. Also, I have to check that channel out now. So the first part of that, hentai is art in the eyes of God. I mean, technically speaking, I can't sit here and say something is art and then say that hentai isn't art, because I'm sure on some level artistically, hentai has its merits. It is what it is. Y'all have fun. We ain't kink shaming tonight. Unless you bald and black and like underage anime chicks, then we gotta shame you for that. Anywho's, so yeah, appreciate the super chats you guys been giving. Super chats are the best way to support the channel if you're watching the stream, because that way, if you guys have a question you want to ask, it's highlighted for me to see, because while it is cool right now, we got 40 people watching. When we start getting into like 100 plus, the questions keep rolling in. And I try my best to answer everybody's question, but you guys know I'm only one person, so there is only so much that I can do. But yeah, it's just a pretty chill night over here, you guys. We don't have anything special. We don't have any type of like topics or structure for a free flow, free form Q&A. If you guys want to ask my question, like my opinion on certain things, like the Demon Slayer movie or things like that, feel free. But if it is something that is more spoilery, like something that just came out, I'm going to speak about it very vaguely, because I know there's a lot of people who are watching the stream who might not have the opportunity to see it yet, because, the weekend just started and we already have people out there spoiling the Demon Slayer movie, spoiling Falcon and Winter Soldier, spoiling Invincible, and it's like, you almost really have no lives if you gotta go. If literally the fact that something and it exists and you want to spoil it for people, it's like, I don't know, bro, go fuck something. Like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? It's you wait a couple of days, then you talk about it openly. But some people don't be but the less said the better. Oh man, yeah, that's all right, Tony. You gotta keep it low key, my friend. You gotta keep it low key so you can come back with that real smoke. You can't just be throwing out all these random bars, All right. He said you ain't have to do 343 like that. Well, 343 didn't have to do Halo 4 and 5 like that. That's all I'm saying, Asbellon. Listen, 343 is until they can prove themselves a Halo Infinite. I don't recognize that they exist. I don't recognize that they exist. All right, so let's just we're going to do a scroll and blast. So we're going to go down the list right here. Let's see. Neo, have you heard about Macross post 1987 coming to the West by Big West themselves? I did not hear about that. I will definitely have to look into that. Holy shit. It's been a while since we've seen some Macross stuff over here. It was like Macross, what else? There was like a trifecta of things that really, you don't get proper releases over here. It was Macross, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and there was something else I forgot. There was something else, but yeah, there was that. Oh, there we go. See, I recognize the avatar, so that's why I was like, he looks similar to Darkwalker, but I didn't want to say anything. But all right, that's all good with you, brother. I hope like all the well wishes to you on the new channel. I know how it feels to start from the bottom, man. That's how it used to be back in the days. This is my third YouTube channel, if you guys can believe it or not, because back then YouTube and the copyright system, that shit was a bitch, bro. That shit was a bitch. All right, I'm seeing good audio checks. Okay. Oh, the homie Daniel Pack came through with the $10 super chat. What up? What do you think of the Ori games? I'm currently on my third playthrough of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Also, 48 viewers, but only 28 likes. Y'all got to step it up. So first things first, Daniel Pack, thank you for your super chat, brother. Second, yeah, y'all got to hit that like button. If y'all are enjoying the stream, hit that like button. And no, I'm not just saying this shit for my whole vanity. When you do hit the like button and when you guys comment on the videos, it helps out with the YouTube algorithm and it helps sends the video out into the ether so we can get a lot more people into this weirdo family that we have. So I appreciate if you guys hit that like button. And yeah, as far as Daniel Pack's question about the Ori games, oh, I love the Ori duology, man. Ori was always one of those games that before I got an Xbox, I was very interested in checking out. And that really doesn't happen considering where I was back in 2015. I had a PlayStation 4 and I was okay with it. I was just fine with it. It was giving me all the multiplats. I was getting a couple of exclusives. And I looked at what Xbox had to offer, and I'm gonna be honest, they really didn't put out anything there that made you go, yo, I need to get an Xbox One. But then I saw Ori, and I don't know if it was because of the art style or the character or what have you, but I was watching that game very closely. And even though I didn't have an Xbox at the time, I was like, yo, I want to get an Xbox for this shit. But then Microsoft announced that all their games were going to PC, so I played through the first Ori game on PC, absolutely loved it. And then when I got the Xbox One X last year, I was able to play Ori 2 Will o' the Wisps via Game Pass. And I love the series so much that, like, I shit you not, you guys. I'm not like one of these fake ass pretend Xbox fans who doesn't rep shit and says they love the games when they don't actually play them. I loved Ori so much when I played it on Xbox that I went out and I bought the physical edition of the Ori duology on the Nintendo Switch because I'm a sucker for Switch collector editions. But yeah, I bought both of these, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will o' the Wisps, and it comes in this really awesome collector set that I don't think I'm probably ever going to open for the time being. It's so fucking weird, though, to see like the Xbox Game Studio logo right there with the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, you know, I love the Ori games. They're fantastic. The second one in particular, though, you want to talk about, this isn't the right term to use, but I call it the Uncharted 2 effect, where they just make all of the right moves in terms of crafting a phenomenal sequel. Like what they did with that game, refining the combat system, like all the new things you can do in it. It's such a fun fucking game. The story in those games, very emotional, very heartwarming, with very little in the ways of dialogue. The soundtrack's fantastic, and if you play it on the Xbox Series X, you can actually play it at like 4K, 120 frames per second. You could play it at 8K and it downsamples it. It's just incredible what they were able to pull off in that game, man. And honestly, if you guys have an Xbox, you got no excuses, man. You got no excuses. That shit is on Game Pass, and you can play both of those games. They're always dirt cheap if you're on PC, and they're on the Switch as well. So come on, y'all. You got to get in on that Ori greatness. It's so good, man. Ori is my favorite Metroidvania of the past couple of years. Let's see who here has played the Ori games. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of homies right there. Stan and Ori, you love it. That's what I love to see. Alrighty. Ooh, and then Asbel Long came through with a $4.99 super chat. I got that Tales of Arise Collector's Edition pre-ordered. Can't wait for it. Oh, that's right, yo. So I don't know if you guys, any of you guys here are fans of the Tales series, but that next to like Persona, Yakuza, and a couple of other games are like the series I will never shut up about. As you guys know, with Yakuza coming to Game Pass. Tales is another one of those series. I've been playing it since I was a kid, and it's always been a really interesting series to me, where Tales has been one of those series that's kind of like had waves where it peaks and then it just goes down and it just does like weird things with the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like for me in particular, I think the Tales series really peaked. Like I'm talking peaked with Tales of Vesperia, and that was back in 2008. And since then, we've had a couple of games come out in the series. Like we've had the Tales of Exilia, duology. We've had Zestiria. We've had Berseria. And while most of those games, sans Zestiria, are actually kind of good, none of them have really like hit the mark. Like basically like checked off all the boxes of what could be a phenomenal Tales game. And Tales of Arise was something I was actually looking forward to when they announced it years ago. But the fact that they didn't really show off too much, it didn't get me excited. But they finally showed off some gameplay in addition to like the release date, pre-order details, yada, yada, yada. And it's looking really good, man. It's looking great. I mean, honestly, just based off what I've seen, it could be one of the best Tales games in the past 15 years. But then again, that's really not saying much. But either way, I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what they do. I really do hope this is the step forward the Tales franchise has so desperately needed. Because while Berseria was great and I enjoyed my time with it, I enjoyed the characters, you could still tell that, you know, the Tales series, it's still relying on that old school way of doing things. And it's not a problem if it's done in like a really stylish way. Like the Persona series, for example. You know, like there are tons of people out there who hate JRPGs, but they somehow got into Persona. whether it was the story, the school setting, or just the fact that it was so fucking stylish and the level design was incredible, maybe that might be it. But when you play Persona and then you go to another game like Tales, and it's like, damn, y'all got to step your game up. Like, come on now. So we'll just have to see. But either way, I too am excited for Tales of Arise. I can't wait for that to come out. Out of the few games that we have confirmed coming out this year. All right, let's see. Oh, and then we got James Lewis coming in with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Can't wait for Returnal and Resident Evil 8 Village. Yup, that's true. You see, the first couple of months of this year were pretty dry. I think we can all admit to that, especially by comparison to the past couple of years where the first few months are killer. But what we got coming out in the docket, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 7, phenomenal game. RE2 remake, phenomenal. RE3, decent. But that Resident Evil 8, you can definitely tell Capcom, they're just firing on all cylinders with that one. I mean, the less said about that game, the better. You guys have all seen the gameplay. You've seen the 9-foot mommy. You guys know what it's all about. That's a day one purchase for me. I have not purchased a Resident Evil game day one since, if y'all can believe it or not, Resident Evil 5 on the Xbox 360. Everything else since then, I was kind of on the fence about. And I did eventually pick them up at some point, like, when they went on sale for cheap. But Resident Evil 8 is going to be the first one I buy day one. And I can't wait, bro. I cannot freaking wait. Same thing for Returnal. Returnal's been pre-ordered. It's been pre-ordered for months. But that shit right there, that gameplay, I'm trying my best not to watch it, y'all. Because I saw a little bit of it on the Twitter feed. But, man, it's just one of those games that I just don't need to see anything else. Like, I'm at that stage in my life, you guys, where you just got to give me the bare minimum. Just give me the bare minimum, and if it's great, I don't need to see anything else. There are certain games out there that all I need to know is that you're working on it and that this is the direction that the series needs to go, and I'm okay. I'm on board with it. Returnal, like, I saw a little bit of gameplay before. I was like, all right, this looks cool. I'm going to get it. But I saw a little bit more. I said, that's it. That's it. And it's good in that way because I can surprise myself when I actually play the game. Because nowadays with trailer culture, and this is not something that's exclusive to video games. This happens with every single medium, especially with movies, man. Like, you go to a Warner Brothers movie trailer or a Sony Pictures trailer, they spoil damn near the entire movie in that shit. It's ridiculous, bro. But yeah, it's just one of those things that in order to counteract that, I've just stopped watching a lot of trailers because of what they're doing. Disney's gotten really good with it, at least with the Marvel stuff, because they do a lot of fake outs where they record footage specifically for the trailer that has nothing to do with the movie. They did that for Infinity War, which was awesome. Same thing for Endgame. And then with Falcon and Winter Soldier, all the footage they were using was like from the first 2.5 episodes, which was great because we didn't see what else was coming down the road. But yeah, bringing this back on point to upcoming games. Yes, I'm looking forward to Returnal and Resident Evil 8 Village. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, all right, so scrolling back down. Let's see. How was the Demon Slayer movie? So, as you guys know, yesterday I got a chance to go watch the Demon Slayer movie. It was really special to me because, first off, anytime I get a chance to see an anime movie on the big screen, I get excited because, I grew up in a time where you'd be lucky if you saw an anime movie in theaters, and usually when they were in theaters, it was just for one day only. I think the first time... no, that's not true. So with the 4Kids zeitgeist of the late 90s, early 2000s, we had a few anime movies like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But after that, it really dried up. I think the first one I saw that was a one night only was Naruto the movie. The first Naruto movie, Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow. That was the name. And I remember seeing that. I was in 8th grade. And I was so excited, man, because it was a different era back then. There was none of this reserved seating. Online ticketing was in its infancy. So, you had to go up there and buy the tickets the second they went on sale. Man, that brings me back. But the Demon Slayer movie, it's insane because we knew the Demon Slayer movie was going to be big over here because it was big in Japan. It's grossed almost $500 million. But how big over here in the States? Well, I don't have exact numbers just yet, but based off of the movie theaters around me, almost every single screening of Demon Slayer is damn near sold out. Now, part of that is due to the fact that there is limited capacity, but even so, the fact that it's all sold out means they're making at least some money, which is good. and they're playing it for like an entire week. It's being played in 2D, 3D, IMAX, 4DX. It's absolutely insane, bro. But I saw it yesterday with my sister, and dude, I mean, first off, anime and IMAX. If you guys have a legit IMAX screen, go watch the movie in IMAX. Go watch it in 4DX to get that like high quality sound experience. But IMAX, whoa, it was insane, man. Because this is a big ass fucking screen. It's like anime characters. Because you're used to watching this shit on a TV or a laptop or a phone, and then these niggas is blowing up to a stadium size. It's wild. The movie itself was, I can't really get into spoilers because it just came out. But if any of you guys are on the fence about watching this movie, if you are a fan of Demon Slayer, right? Because you don't know whether or not you should check it out because it might just be another anime movie. Is it canon? Yada, yada. Go watch the movie. This shit takes place. This is not a spoiler by any means. This movie takes place 5 seconds after the end of the anime. And then from there, it's just 2 hours of... It's like it's a 2-hour Demon Slayer episode. It's a 2-hour Demon Slayer episode in all the best ways, and unfortunately all the worst ways, because you know when Demon Slayer gets deep, it gets deep, and there's the less said the better. The less said the better. That's all I gotta say. But the Demon Slayer movie was fucking fantastic. I loved it. Okay, let's see. Going back down. Is the Judgment remaster worth getting if I've already played the original? Great question. So the Judgment remaster, I'm gonna be honest, if you recently played Judgment, you know, the game's only like, what, 2 years old? I would say it's not worth it if you just want to get the higher frame rate, because there's not really a lot of extra content that warrants you spending $40. Now, if you really want to get technical and you do want to play through the game and you just want to see how the frame rate is and yada, 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 of course the game is fantastic on that front. Like, the game is so smooth. It's something that we, as fans of Ryuga Gotoku Studios for a while, we've wanted them to go back to, like smooth, like buttery smooth 60 frames per second. You know, and it's taken them some time because they've been messing with the Dragon engine and everything. But Judgment was when they finally perfected it, and now with the better hardware, it runs as intended, and it's smooth, man. I wouldn't say go out and spend $40 unless you really do want to replay Judgment, but it is worth picking up down the road. Like, let's say if you catch it on sale for like $20 and you just want to have it for preservation's sake, I would definitely do that. That's what I'm going to do, because I was fortunate enough to be gifted a review copy of Judgment by the fine people over at Sega. And even though I get sent a lot of stuff from companies to review and talk about and everything, I still go out and buy the game because I want to have it in my collection. So Square Enix, for example, just sent me Nier Replicant, right? That game that just came out today. I'm still going to go out and buy the game. Why? Because I have Nier Automata in my collection, and I want to have Nier Replicant on the shelf because there was a time when Nier was but a fleeting dream, and then now that there's so much clout behind it, like, damn well I'm not gonna forget my roots. I am gonna go out there and support it. You know, like, influencer status be damned. I'm gonna still go buy the stuff. Same thing for Judgment. I'm gonna have a physical copy of Judgment remaster on my shelf. All right, let's see. The wifey and I are going to go watch the new Mortal Kombat movie tonight. Hopefully it's decent. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to video games movies, you guys know, I have no hope in them whatsoever until we get like 10 consecutive video game movies that are legitimately good when you don't have to temper your expectations. That's when I'll start getting excited about it. But like, what's the best video game movie that's come out? Sonic the Hedgehog. And even then, while I enjoyed it, it's not that great of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, part of it was just us looking at it as, okay, you know, this is decent enough. Let's see what you do next. The sequel, on the other hand, I'm very excited, depending on how they do that. But yeah, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, I just like, with the exception of the first one, all of them have been trash. Like, the web series was kind of decent and everything, but it's just, you know, it's just, that's how it is when it comes to video game movies. But, you know, it's on HBO Max. I have the Regal Unlimited thing, so I might see. I'll probably see it in theaters just to get the theater experience, and I'm not paying for it because I have the subscription service. But yeah, it's not a movie that I'm like really, really like looking forward to with all my excitement. Okay. I wish Invincible didn't have so many great actors on the payroll because the animation be looking super rough half the time. Oh, half the time. Oh, nah, bro. Honestly, Drew, I think Invincible looks really fucking shitty. I'm just gonna be real. Invincible looks like a web series. It looks like something that would have been cool on YouTube 10 years ago. It's not well animated at all. The Justice League series from the 2000s looks so much better than that. It's just insane how little they put into the animation. And maybe that is because they spent it on the talent, which is fine and everything, but I'm gonna be real. I don't really, if you, it's like one of those things where you didn't have to secure all this Hollywood top TV talent. You could have went and got legitimate voiceover artists. Like I'm talking legitimate ones who do this for a living, and you could work within your budget and make it a great show. Now, I don't know if the budgets are, if it's all one pool where you're spending it all on the talent and the animation is shitty. I don't know because I'm not a producer. But still, it just, oh man. Like I was watching that shit on 4K. I'm like, why is this? Why? I mean, it's a good show, but Jesus Christ, man. All right, let's see. Do you watch or read Attack on Titan? So I do watch Attack on Titan. I am not completely caught up to the anime just yet. I'm a couple episodes behind. Attack on Titan is one of those series that I savor because there isn't a lot of it. The manga, same thing. I actually haven't even finished the manga yet, even though I do, because I keep up with everything that happens. Unfortunately, I do know how it ends. But I do want to sit down and experience it for myself, like actually read it from the beginning to the end. Because I did read Attack on Titan very briefly when it first came out years ago. This is before even the anime dropped. Or it was around, no, it was around the time the anime was getting popular. It was like the first season. But yeah, I do need to just sit down and finish it. And, it's not a long series either, compared to most things out there. So that's on the list. Let's see. Yo, NeoGameSpark, I've been watching you ever since you made the DBZ Kai videos. Oh shit, Future Wiz, bringing it way back. We're talking like the 2009 days. Shout out to you, homie. Thank you for the support. It's been a minute. We've come a long way since then, huh? Are you a Warhammer fan at all, Neo? If so, Warhammer 40k or Fantasy? It's Frederick, by the way, just the name change. Oh, what's up, Frederick? How have you been, man? Hope you're doing well. And to be honest, man, I'm not going to sit here in front like I'm a real Warhammer fan. I'm not. I mean, I've dabbled in a few games. Like, I got Warhammer 40k Space Marine, which I know is not a... It's not like a true Warhammer game according to the hardcore fans, but I got that shit for free. If I remember correctly, it came out at that time where they were trying to make everything a Gears of War clone. But I played through a little bit of that, and then I also played through recently, actually, last year, Vermintide. Apparently that's set in the Warhammer universe. Like I said, I have no idea about the lore like that, but it was fun, because the way my boy described it was like it's Left 4 Dead, but in Warhammer. And I was like, oh, wait. No, wait. Is that Warhammer at all? Or no, I'm thinking about something else. Hold on. I don't know. I might be confusing Vermintide with... No, Vermintide is Warhammer. Then why was I thinking about another game? No, you know what I was thinking of? That game of the Xbox Showcase. That it looked like a 4-player Left 4 Dead type of game, and it's set in the Warhammer universe. But yeah, I don't know why I thought that Warhammer Vermintide wasn't in the Warhammer universe. But anyway, I played through a little bit of Vermintide, and that's purely because of the co-op aspect of it. But I didn't really keep track of the story like that, so I don't, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm a fan of the lore. But Vermintide was cool for the few hours I played. Let's see. Neo, I just want to say I was the first like. I'm late, but I didn't want to wait like 12 minutes for the stream to start. Oh, okay. Appreciate that, Cole. Appreciate it. Just got my copy of Nier Replicant. Oh, that's what's up, John. That's what's up, brother. Neo, I can't fuck anything because I'm an incel. Oh, no. We gotta switch that up, man. We gotta switch that up. You gotta line up your beard, Neo. Well, I mean, right now, Nathan Drake, I'm just letting that shit grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really focused too much on making it look like spick and span all the time, because in literally 3 days this shit is already gonna start forming again. Let's see. I think I'm getting old. Time is going by too fast. Yeah, honestly, once you start getting into your mid-20s, guys, time goes by very quick. Like, look at us now. We're almost in May. and it just feels like January was yesterday. It happens. Hey, yo, just seen the new Mortal Kombat. Do you plan to go see it? Oh, what's going on, Pierre? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I'm going to check it out eventually. Played Outriders for the first time today, and that shit ran at a respectable 5 frames per second. Oh, no. That is not okay. Oh, man. Yeah, that game, Outriders is one of the few games that I feel like I'm fighting the game every single time I play it. But at the same time, it's a lot of fun. It's very, as Chaz Princeton would say, it's low rent. Like, this game looks very low budget in a lot of respects. And then in a lot of other situations, it looks really good. It's got a weird dichotomy going on. But it's still fun. It's a lot of fun. I love the grind of getting all these cool weapons and then playing with the boys. It's a lot of fun, man. I'm enjoying myself. That being said, I feel so bad for the people who bought this game on PC and PlayStation because the servers are trash. I'm just going to be honest. Like, this game works when it wants to. And I'm going to be real. Had I not had Game Pass, I would not buy this game because, dude, the game goes down like every other day. And then when it doesn't go down, there's a whole bunch of issues. But despite that, it's a lot of fun. Oh, boy. Alrighty. Oh, we got the homie Gustavo Bravo coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. How's it going, Neo? I need to control my backlog more. Shit, who you telling, man? Backlog woes. And I already watched FMA Brotherhood, and I'm starting to collect the FMA manga with the Full Metal editions. And I've noticed it takes me forever to finish a game nowadays. Well, Gustavo Bravo, honestly, when it comes to finishing games these days, I don't know if it's because I'm busier as an adult or it's the older I get. I have no idea. But for me, I have to be in the right mindset to play a game. I can't just turn on the Xbox console and just start playing. You know, I got to be in the mindset to want to pick up the controller and dive into a world, especially if that's a single player focused experience. Like, let's take Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. That game, I didn't realize I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 for almost 100 hours. I cannot believe how much time I've put into that game. But that's not the type of game that I can just turn on willy-nilly. Like, I have to like clear my mind to put myself into this world. And there's some games that, you know, I don't have to do that for. Like, let's say, for example, like a Yu-Gi-Oh game. I put like 20 hours into the Yu-Gi-Oh game they have on Xbox. Because that's just a mindless romp. Same thing for Outriders. I skip the story because I just want to get to the gameplay. But when it comes to those single player narratives, like, I can't have other things going on at once. Like, let's say, for example, if if like there's something happening in my life at the moment where I know people need to reach out and get in touch with me, I'm not really going to be playing a narrative focused game because it takes so much to get me into the experience. And to pull myself out from it and going back and forth, like, I realized that's why I don't really finish games like I used to, because there's so much that happens in life as an adult, and I don't want to rob myself from enjoying this experience in a game, knowing that I just have a lot of stuff happening and I can't clear my head. So I totally resonate with that, Gustavo Bravo. That's how it is for me. And as far as the backlog is concerned, honestly, I just stopped looking at my backlog. I stopped thinking that I have to beat every single game that I own, because it's physically impossible just based off the library of games that I have and the games that I've just gotten on sale for dirt cheap, you know? Now, if these were all games I bought for full price, like $60 and now $70, I would be pissed off. Like, why am I not finishing games? But nowadays, it's just like I pick a couple of games that I want to finish, that I know I could finish, and then I go at my own pace. And that's been working out very well this year. So before, I used to be like, okay, let's rush and let's finish all these games because of XYZ. Then I realized I wasn't really enjoying my time playing them. So what I started doing was I started picking one game, right? Just one game, and then just go from there. So for me, that game right now is Yakuza Like a Dragon. That is a long game. That game is like, around like 50 hours long. And that's not counting the side stuff you do. So I knew that's going to be my long game. And the thing about that game is, unfortunately, this is my, like, one of my bigger critiques of, it's the Yakuza series in general, but especially Like a Dragon. It's very cutscene heavy. Very cutscene heavy. And if you have a limited amount of time to actually game, and you're just sitting there watching all these cutscenes, now it's good cutscenes. It's developing the character in the world. It's amazing. But it's just there's not a good balance between gameplay and all these cutscenes. Like there are sometimes you're sitting there for 15, 20 minutes watching cutscenes. At that point, I'm like, y'all should have made this a Netflix show because I just want to get into some gameplay. So since I know, since I already know like that game is going to be taking up a lot of my time, I have a couple of things thrown into the mix to kind of like give myself a palate cleanser. So that's where games like Control came in. You know, Control's like what, 12-hour game. You know, you can finish that up. And if you want to spend more time with it, you can, but that's something that you can easily digest. Same for a bunch of other games. So yeah, we got to stop like thinking that, okay, we have to finish all the games in our backlog because it's a backlog. You got to just focus on the games you want to play and then realize that, you know, there's just some games you're never going to get to. And that should, if anything, promote you to not buy as many games, or at least know that if you're going to buy this game, you know you're buying it for dirt cheap and you probably won't get to it at some point. You know, especially when it comes to those RPGs. Like, I'm sure Corey Gryffindor, you can agree with this, bro. There are some times where we just buy JRPGs when they come out, even though we know we're not going to get to them for a few months. Because with JRPGs, a lot of them are very scarce. And sometimes their first print is their only print. So we just go out there, we buy them because we know, like, there's going to come a time where I might not be able to purchase this physically. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. That's how it used to be with the Yakuza games. Like before Yakuza had this big blow up, I would just buy the games and I knew even if I didn't get to it for a few months, I'm glad I bought it because there is going to come a time where it's just not going to be in print. So yeah, don't beat yourself up too bad about that, Gustavo Bravo. Just go at your own pace, man. And the FMA manga though, dude, that's the fucking shit. The FMA manga, even though I love Brotherhood, the manga is just amazing. So good. So good. All right. Let's see. Neo, what do you think of Sony holding Resident Evil 8 off of Game Pass? So I've seen this question a few times in regards to this whole contract thing going on with Sony and Capcom, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be honest, guys. This is why I don't really report on rumors because I don't even know half the shit that be going on in these contracts. A lot of this shit is usually fake. Some of it might be legit, but until I see like legit concrete evidence, I look at that stuff and I'm like, all right, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's like, okay, am I going to waste all this time and energy potentially lambasting Sony for what they did or Microsoft for what they did based off of this document that may or may not be legit, as opposed to playing games? And I'd rather do the latter. I'd rather focus on all those games than worry about this thing that might not even be legit. Now, if it comes out and it ends up being legit, like we start seeing more reports and all that stuff, yeah, we'll have that conversation then. But as of now, I don't, you know, like, that's it. The games are more important at the moment, you know. Do you think Guerrilla will update Horizon Zero Dawn on PS5 from 30 to 60 frames anytime soon? I'm surprised they haven't done that, Nova, especially considering that's like one of the last few games, the last major bastions from PS4 that they haven't updated, you know? They updated Days Gone, they updated Ghost of Tsushima, they updated God of War, and we're still waiting on patches for Horizon, Last of Us Part 2. You know, obviously, when you start going back, it becomes like a case of, all right, do we really need performance updates for this? Like, we would love them, but sometimes they're not feasible. Like Uncharted 4, for example, I think that game is a little too old for them to go and release like a 4K update. You know, knowing Sony, they'll probably just remaster that joint because they're remaking the first Last of Us, so it's not too out of the realm of possibility, unfortunately. But a 60 frame per second and a 4K resolution bump for Horizon Zero Dawn is warranted, especially with the sequel coming out. Aloy is in Fortnite. They just gave the game away for free. So what else are they working on? Like, I know all hands on deck for the sequel. That's what they're prioritizing, but so are a whole bunch of other studios. Like Sony Santa Monica is working on God of War Ragnarok, but they still updated God of War PS4, so I don't know what Guerrilla is doing at the moment. Not sure. Hey Neo, hope everything is going good for you today. I'm super excited for today's release. I bought Judgment and Nier Replicant. Probably going to play Judgment later tonight. Oh, that is awesome, Zach. You have a great time, man. Judgment is fantastic, and from what I've been hearing about the Nier remaster, it's very good. I got a bit disappointed when I found out Persona 5 was a JRPG, but oh boy, it's my favorite game now. And that's crazy, Angel, because that's all it takes. Because there are some people out there who just, I'm just going to be real, sometimes a genre is not for them. And that's okay. Like, there's tons of people out there I know who aren't a big fan of Western RPGs, yet they love Fallout New Vegas. Likewise, there's a bunch of people out there that don't like JRPGs, but they play the Trails of, like, the Legend of Heroes series, and they're just like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love it. So it's all it takes is just one game, especially in a genre like JRPGs where I'm gonna be real. I love JRPGs. I love it, but a lot of them are similar to first-person shooters of the past 10, 15 years. A lot of them are very samey and tropey. But every now and then you get a legit gem that's amazing. Let's see. Disco Elysium, the final cut is good so far. I need to check that shit out, bro. I need to check it out. Oh, we got a $2 super chat coming in from my homie Shadow Wolf 712. Dragon Ball podcast tomorrow, baby. That's right. So for those of y'all who are watching the stream right now, we're actually going to be doing a podcast tomorrow night that is specifically focused on talking all about the legendary Dragon Ball franchise. This is something that's been in the works for, I shit you not, you guys, close to a decade. It's going to be me, Shadow Wolf 712, the homie Young Rots, and then also Future Gohan SSJ2. So we bringing back all the homies from, 2012, I think was the last time we all did a podcast together. So it's been a hot minute since we reunited all four of us. Like me, Danny, and Rob, we do podcasts every now and then, but we haven't had Jamie on the channel in a long time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a long podcast. I already know it's going to be 3 hours, but it's going to be going down tomorrow night. You know, make sure y'all are following on Twitter so y'all can get the updates on when we're going to be streaming and all that stuff. But it's going to be great. I can't wait. And I appreciate the super chat, Danny. Thank you so much, bro. Okay, let's see. If you were to guess, which do you think will end first? One Piece, Hajime no Ippo, or Hunter x Hunter? Honestly, Magnetic, I'm going to say One Piece. And the only reason I'm saying that is because out of all these stories right here, I feel like One Piece has the best chance at ending within like the next 5 years. Like something is telling me that Oda is getting ready to wrap shit up within the next 5 years. Now, obviously, that don't mean much because 5 years is 5 years. That's a long ass fucking time. 5 years ago was 2016. But just compared to Togashi and how he's been with Hunter x Hunter, like he gonna be still working on that shit when I have grandkids, man. It's insane. And Ippo, I don't know. Ippo's similar to Detective Conan. They're like series that just go on and go on and go on and go on. All right. Did you hear about the EDP 445 drama? Yeah. I heard about that. I'm sure many of y'all have heard what went down with him. And I'm not really going to get into the details too much because it's disgusting. But it just goes to show you, man, do not idolize anybody that you see on this internet shit. I'm going to be real, y'all. I don't like people. What they do is they get into this like cult of personality. And when they start getting so much clout and people love them, they start thinking that they're invincible. When at the end of the day, we're all human. And human beings, we have the capacity to do so much good while doing so much bad at the same time, you know? And EDP, that guy, I mean, sickening shit, man. Sickening shit that no one should be objecting underage people to. But, you know, these people, you just got to call them out when you see them and just cancel them. You know, you can't come back from that shit. You know? Like, I hope, you know, he gets the help that he needs. In the sense that, you know, like, take care of what you got to do. But, yeah, you can't come back from this shit, bro. You cannot. And it just goes to show, as, like I said before, when it comes to this social media shit, nobody is untouchable. Just because you have a lot of clout. Like, this man had millions of subscribers, yet he was still doing that shady, fucked up shit. So, I don't know. Just keep all the people that you love, like you follow online, keep them at arm's length. Obviously, you do because it's virtual. But just in general, like, don't be too surprised to see something fucked up happen with XYZ person. Like even with me, for example, like I always tell people, I'm just a normal, regular guy. I ain't nothing special. I ain't nothing fancy. I am no better of a person versus any of you guys watching right now. And I say this stuff now like I did 10 plus years ago, because that's the truth. Do not glorify any individual out there, whether it be a celebrity, whether it be a YouTuber, because you just never know what'll fucking happen, man. You just never know. Let's see. I'm proud to say I'm one of the few people who watched Lupin the Third the first on theaters. It was only one day in the cinema. Oh, that's awesome, Angel. I've seen a few anime movies in theaters. So the first one I saw by myself was Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. Then I saw Naruto the movie. Then after that, it really dried up. But since in the past couple of years, there have been a couple in theaters. Like I saw One Piece, Film Gold, My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, a couple of classic movies whenever they would play them, like Sailor Moon movies, Cowboy Bebop I saw at the Alamo Drafthouse, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Like I love seeing anime movies in theaters, man. It's amazing. Oh, we got a couple super chats coming in. All right, let's see. So we got a $6.99 Canadian super chat from Colin, my boy. What's going on, brother? Hey, Chris, how you tonight, man? I'm doing pretty swell, Colin. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I see that you were really digging my Blu-ray collection. That's right, bro. Listen, I'm that type of weirdo, as you guys know, where whenever I post something, like if it's a new pickup, whether a Blu-ray, a video game, a figurine, I always tell people, show me what you guys picked up or show me your collection, because I love seeing that shit. I'm a big stan of physical media, if you couldn't tell by this little shrine and all the shit in the background. I love physical media. And the homie Colin's been building up his Blu-ray collection. He's got a lot of good shit. So that's dope, man. Keep on the grind. I see you got a couple of good things in your collection, and appreciate the super chat, man. Hope y'all are doing well up in Canada. I know y'all been going through some new waves of lockdown, which fucking sucks. So Godspeed to y'all. Oh, and then we got a $20 super chat coming in from Silverwolf26. Sup, Neo? How you been, bro? Me, I'm just playing Nier Replicant. Everyone is playing Nier Replicant right now. I fucking love it. That's what I love to say. And I'm close to finishing Cold Steel 4. What are your thoughts on the latest Tales of Arise trailer and its gameplay? It looks amazing. Yo, thank you for your super chat, Silverwolf. And you've already got some greatness in this chat. Nier Replicant, Cold Steel 4, and Tales of Arise. So as far as Tales of Arise, I did speak about this earlier on in the stream. But, since you were over here asking me, I think that it looks really good. Now, time will tell on whether or not this is like the next step forward that the Tales franchise needs. But from what I'm seeing, they're ticking a lot of the right boxes. And I'm a sucker for Tales combat. Like Zillia 2, that game, the combos you were able to pull off with Ludger and how he had all these different styles. I was like, yo, this is the best Devil May Cry game that is not called Devil May Cry. So if Tales of Arise can just give us that, I'm all for it. But honestly, outside of the gameplay that I skimmed through, I'm not going to be really watching too much stuff from Tales of Arise, because I'm going to go in blind. It's been a long time since we've hyped up a Tales game. And shit, man, like I just want to go into that without knowing anything about the story or all the crazy stuff that you can pull off. So it's got me hyped. It's got me hyped. Turns out the guy who caught EDP was also racist. Yeah, I was hearing some stuff about that guy. Like he's got some skeletons in his closet too. Which again, it just goes to show you guys, do not glorify anybody. Do not glorify anybody. Marcus, what's going on? Jason, what's going on? NKDN, what's going on? How y'all doing? All right. Let's see. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. Damn, you see, you guys ask a lot of questions and I'm still working my way down. Let's see. Nah, I will not tolerate any Vesperia slander on my feed. I will not tolerate that at all. I love Vesperia. That's good. See, that's one thing I do love about this renaissance of Japanese games. It's getting a lot of people who weren't really gaming like gaming from stuff out east into those genres, you know? So like there's people here who saw that Tales trailer and they're interested. There's people here who played Yakuza on Game Pass and now they're checking out Judgment, checking out Nier Replicant. It's an awesome time, man. It's an awesome time. I love it. Let's see. Definitely watch Demon Slayer in Japanese, Pierre. Like I love dubs. The Demon Slayer dub is decent, but it just hits different in Japanese, man. Those performances, Jesus Christ, so good. So good. I actually watched the sub of the movie first. Originally I was gonna watch the dub, but I was like, no. I need to see this subbed. I need to see why people in Japan made this shit gross over 400 million. And there's a reason why. And it's not just because of the movie itself, but the performances are so damn good. Let's see. Might watch Tenet tonight. Yo, I need to rewatch Tenet. It's been a few months. Yeah, there are more rumors about Persona coming to Xbox. I feel like every other week there's a Persona on Xbox rumor. I mean, it's eventually going to show up on PC and on Xbox. It's just a matter of when. Let's see. Lately, I've been more happy with HBO Max than Netflix with all the new releases showing up. Yeah, HBO Max has been doing pretty good, you know? Like, I got to give them credit. Releasing their movies day and date on the service, and even though it's only there for a month, it's a hell of a lot better than Disney Plus's early access. Like, that shit is ridiculous. Even with something that, like Black Widow, like let's say Black Widow wasn't coming out to theaters. If I was this desperate, I would have definitely gone and dropped the $30 on that shit. But realistically, no, bro. I'll just wait 3 months. It'll be up on the high seas at some point. Let's see. The Chuck E. Cheese joint reopened near me. I'm going to have to hit that place up. Oh, snap. Niggas be going to Chuck E. Cheese in 2021? Look at that. Yeah, Quiplash is free. So if you guys want a fun party game to play, check out Quiplash. It's on Steam. Weekend at Bernie says, hope you're doing well, brother. I'm doing good, man. Hope you're doing good, too. Dark Tide is the 40K Left 4 Dead game upcoming. Yeah, see, that's the one that I remember seeing, which is why it confused me when I was like, wait, I thought Vermintide was kind of like that. What is going on? But that makes sense then. That makes sense. If you want to get into Warhammer 40K lore, I recommend reading the Horus Heresy books. Okay. I'm gonna jot that down real quick. Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy. Got it. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. I'm always down for some recommendations. Let's see. Bro, I'm 13 and I feel like time goes by too fast. Well, damn, son. You experiencing all that shit now. You about to be 80 by the time you're 20. All right, let's see. Neo, are you excited for the new Battlefield? Yes, I am excited. And this is the crazy thing. I haven't been this excited for a Battlefield game, I shit you not, you guys, since like Battlefield 3 came out. And that was almost 10 years ago. I played through Battlefield 4 when it worked. And then after that, I just stopped. I didn't buy 1. I didn't buy 5. But I'm excited for this one because it's been a few years. And I think they've learned their mistakes. So I feel like this shit's about to be on point. The last one I like legitimately loved was Battlefield Bad Company 2. Guys, I bought that game on 360 when it came out. Then I bought that shit on PS3 on Black Friday. Then I bought that shit on PC. Like, Bad Company 2 was fucking different, bro. I loved it. Let's see. Oh, what's going on, amazing CJB? How you doing, man? Oh, you're on his girlfriend's tablet. Can't be bothered to change the account. Oh, I appreciate that, brother. Coming through with the sub and the like. Then your girlfriend's going to be wondering why this guy's in her feed. Like, who the fuck is this? He's like, no, that's my mate, Chris. Appreciate that, brother. I need to finish Yakuza 5 and 6 so I can get on to Like a Dragon. I mean, to be honest... Uh-oh. I just dropped my water. I mean, to be honest, Corey Gryffindor, even though, yeah, you should, with the exception of one particular interaction, you can pretty much play Yakuza Like a Dragon and have no issues. There is a certain thing that happens with a certain character, but other than that, like, you're pretty good, bro. But I know the JRPG completionist in us is not gonna let us go into a separate part of the story without experiencing all the other stuff. You know, it's just, man. Hey, what's going on, Quaco? How you doing, bro? Oh, you're talking about the grinder on Yakuza Like a Dragon? Oh, shit. Neo, my favorite YouTuber, what's good? What's up, Ivan? How you doing, man? How you doing? I'm much pickier now with what I play as an adult versus when I was a kid. I don't have the time or energy to push through something that doesn't vibe with me. Primal Majin, that's a great point. I always tell this to people. I don't have time to play certain games where folks say, if you can just wait 30 hours, the game will open up. Like, the last game that I did that for was Final Fantasy 13. And like, I played through that game, and I guess it was because of the whole next generation hype. I really enjoyed my time with 13. But when I tried replaying that at the end of the year, I was sitting there like, when is this game going to get good? Like, I don't remember it being this boring. And that's when it clicked with me, right? Like, 16-year-old me at the time, that there's just something about certain pieces of entertainment where you shouldn't have to expect something from your audience. Like, if you could just, like, when people give that arbitrary, if you can just get past X amount of whatever, that's when shit starts getting good. I'm like, no, I don't got the time for that. Like, yeah, pay off when it's done right. Of course, you can tell people it's about the slow burn long haul. Like, let's just take one series, for example, that does that very well. Legend of Heroes, right? Trails of Cold Steel, like all the other games that they put out in there. That's the definition of a series that is a slow burn, but it builds itself up gradually. So when you get to the real epic shit, that's when people go, yo, this is fucking amazing. I love it. It knows how to do lore and world building. But when I see someone out there saying, yo, you just got to like play through 30 hours of this game, and that's when it gets good. 30 hours is almost a full-time job at that point. And it's playing a game that you just have to get through because of, let's say, the bland story or the mediocre gameplay. I don't got the time for that. I got better games to play. And even more controversial, there's some people I know who I recommended Persona 5 to them. They bought the game. They tried it out. They really couldn't vibe with the school setting and the fact that the game, you know, you do a lot of reading at sometimes and there's a lot of exposition. And that's one thing I love about Persona, but I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody they're wrong because they just want to get to the game. And then they're sitting there watching cutscenes and skipping through dialogue and all that stuff, doing the school simulation aspect. I can't tell them they're wrong, even though I love Persona 5, because they're not wrong, you know? And it's not like those are the people who, whenever I hear someone say, they're like, oh, you like dude bro stuff like Call of Duty, first-person shooters, like shooty bang bang. It's like, no, it's not that at all. Like, some of these people out there have played other games that just have better pacing. So I get it. I understand that, man. Oh, we talk about Game Pass hype? What up? That's what's up. One Piece. You see, here's the thing about One Piece. I am not one of those people that says to folks, yo, just wait till One Piece gets great. One Piece is one of those series that it just takes its fucking time, and it has great stuff that happens along the way. But when it builds up to that epic shit, it's like, yo, this is worth it. But when I was watching One Piece, when I was reading the manga, there was never a moment where I was like, okay, come on now, come on, because everything that I had experienced prior to that was good. So I don't know, like, I'm not one of those people that says wait till you get to like 500 episodes of One Piece. The reason why when you get to those epic points of One Piece and why they work is because it built itself up going like this, you know, like this. But I always tell people, if you're going to start One Piece, don't try to binge it. Don't try to binge it like, okay, I'm going to binge all this stuff because I can get it over with. No, One Piece is almost 1,000 episodes. You got to be watching One Piece in tandem to other stuff. You got to make One Piece like your series that you're always playing with in the background, not something that you're going to make a main focal point. You just got to ride the wave, man. Yeah, Boruto is a great example of that shit. When people are like, yo, if you could just wait to get to Boruto episode number 485, that's when you Boruto haters are going to be taken to task. Like, bro, no one's got time for that. Like, when people were telling me, like, Yeah, all you Boruto haters, now you're proven wrong like fucking 3-4 years later. 4 years? What were y'all doing for 4 years? Oh, frolicking in the dandelion bushes and shit. Ugh. No offense, but that's how I felt about Xenoblade 2. Oh no, you don't even gotta say no offense, Grimdara. You don't. Like that's what I said in my Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like my final impressions. I've said something along the lines of I can totally understand why you don't like this game. I can totally understand it, and I'm not going to sit here and try to make it out to be something it isn't, because it's very polarizing. Me, myself, and I found something great in that. But if someone says that, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I bought it, couldn't care for it, I'm like, yep, I get it. I was the same way. It's fine. I'm not going to tell you to power through it, because that's a long-ass fucking game. I put over like 80 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that's not even counting the Torna DLC. Have you played Shaq Fu Legend Reborn? It was surprisingly all right. I have not played that yet, Jimbo. I have not. Do you think companies will be porting more of their games to modern consoles and PC after the topic of game preservation came up because of the whole, PlayStation Network situation? I wouldn't be surprised at all, Anthony. If anything, I think this was a wake-up call to a lot of people that you have the IPs that you have are more valuable than you realize. There's a lot of games that I honestly, as we've seen now with Nintendo, just because the game came out and it did bad the first time doesn't mean that re-releasing the game will have the same impact, because there are situations where it could do so much better. Like Nier Replicant, that game, I wouldn't be surprised if it outsells the original Niers just like that. Like, there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And I think that a lot of games deserve that opportunity, especially if they came out at that real awkward point in the sixth generation. Not the sixth generation, I'm sorry. The seventh generation with the PS3, 360, and the Wii. Like, there was a point towards the end where there was just a shit ton of games coming out, and a lot of people overlooked them. Not because that they were bad, it's just that there was too much shit coming out. So games like 3D Game Heroes absolutely deserves another chance. It deserves an opportunity to sell more. You know, put that out on the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, the PC. I would love to play those games. And unfortunately, a lot of those games are lost to time. You know, and the PlayStation Network, even though it's back now, it will be going down within the next couple of years. It just is what it is. And I can't fault Sony for it. For me, the reason why I got on Sony was the fact that they just literally stealthily announced that they're closing the store and y'all have like 4 months. That's my biggest complaint. At least with Xbox, and you got to give them credit, when they were announcing that they were shutting down the servers for the Halo games on 360, they gave people a year's notice, a year's heads up to say, hey, we're taking down these servers next year. An entire year for games that still exist nowadays on the Xbox One, on the PC. They were saying like, yeah, you know what, we're shutting down these servers now, but you know what, we brought these games forward so you can still technically play them. That's how you do it. PlayStation just announcing that shit, like, what the fuck? Like, oh yeah, but who really cares about that stuff? Who's buying beta games? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? It doesn't matter. It's the principle of the fact. Like, would you be mad if, let's say, your fucking landlord or something did some schemy shit? Like, you'd be upset too, you know? It's not about the fact that only a X amount of people used it. Like, why are you guys siding with $1 billion corporation over them gimping consumers? You know, it's like people want to play politics when it's convenient for them. Like, first you're hating on Microsoft, then you're propping up Sony saying, well, it's a business move at the end of the day. But you know, if Microsoft did the exact same thing, you'd be on their case, and vice versa. Xbox fans, same thing. You know, getting on Sony for something that, you know, if Microsoft did the exact same thing, you'd be praising them. Like, people just got to keep that same energy all around, which is why I always tell people, like, don't get it twisted. Just because Xbox sent me a console, that doesn't mean I'm not going to take them to task. You know, because at the end of the day, I gain nothing defending a multi-trillion-dollar corporation in the case of Microsoft. You don't get anything from doing that. You just got to be yourself. Oh, snap. Silverwolf came in with another $10 super chat. Did you also see the great Ace Attorney games are finally getting localized? I'm so excited, bro. Like, everybody knows I stand Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney is awesome. But one thing I hate about Ace Attorney is the fact that Capcom really ain't doing shit with it. Like, they'll put out a new game every couple of years, but there's such an amazing back catalog of that series on the DS that they haven't brought forward. So I, for one, am excited that not only are we getting these games localized, we're also getting physical editions localized, which is rare. They didn't do that for the last Ace Attorney game on Switch. It was Japan exclusive if you want to buy it physically, which I have a copy of it somewhere up here. But the fact that we're getting this, absolutely incredible. It's going to be a day one purchase for me. It sucks that it's not going to be on Xbox, considering the other port, the first 3 games is on Xbox. But, you know, who knows? Maybe down the road you might get a port. It's Capcom. I mean, they just announced that Resident Evil 4 is going to be ported to VR, so it might end up there at some point. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But I am excited for it nevertheless. Let's see. Hey, Havoc, what's going on, brother? What's going on? You just got out of work? That's what's up, brother. How was work today? Hopefully not too stressful. Let's see. Are you still enjoying the Elite Series 2 controller? Yes, I actually do have an update on that controller coming soon, since I've had it for almost a year now, which is insane to think about. I do have an update coming soon. But other than that, I mean, I'm enjoying it, man. I love it. It's my favorite controller to date. I love the customization. I love the feel. I love everything about the controller. I haven't experienced any issues yet, knock on wood. Thankfully, I mean, that's a good thing in my case, but I am an outlier considering everyone I know says like their A button starts having issues and then one of the bumpers gives out. It's so fucking weird, man. Like, Microsoft made this amazing controller, but at the same time, it's also so damn faulty. But thankfully, I do have a warranty attached to it, so if anything happens, I can just swap it out for a new one. Or just wait for Elite V3. Because that Elite V3, if they incorporate, like, well, first off, it's going to have a share button. But if they incorporate, like, you know, some of the haptic feedback that you have on the DualSense controller and all that, oh, it's just going to be crispy, bro. I can't wait. Let's see. But you know what the funny thing is? I alternate between my Elite V2 and my regular Series X controller, because the Series X controller is awesome. Like, it's the best Xbox controller that they've put out since the 360. I think it's better than the 360 controller, to be honest. It just feels really good. I love the textured grips on the back. Series X controller is dope. Like, my brother just bought a Series X controller for his PC, and I asked him, why didn't you buy the DualSense? And I said, you know, he was just like, bro, I can't with PlayStation controllers. And I said, why, man? Why? We've had PlayStation consoles for decades now. He says, dude, it's just the analog sticks. Whenever I push them together, my thumbs touch, and I hate that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Because when you have long fingers like we do, you guys, that whole analog stick placement is so close. Our thumbs touch. So I get it. I get it. Sup Neo, what's your favorite Jak game, your favorite Ratchet and Clank game? Okay, so the thing is, I love both of these series to death, so my picks, they can go back and forth. Like, I love all 3 Jak games for different reasons. They're all fantastic in my opinion, but the one I have a really special connection with is Jak 2. That was the first game that was one of the first games that I had with my PS2 that I remember beating front to back and then starting up another playthrough within minutes. I love Jak 2 to death. But at the same time, I love Jak 3's story, and I love the platforming gameplay of the first one. Ratchet and Clank, I love the third game. Up Your Arsenal. That one, and then also Ratchet Deadlocked, because I played the shit out of that multiplayer back then. Yo, y'all remember, what was that thing called? The multi-tap for the PS2? Yo, we had to buy, if you wanted to play with 4 people on the PlayStation 2, you had to buy a separate adapter to make that shit work. That was so fucking schemy, man. Anyone else remember that shit? Like, GameCube, 4 controller ports. Xbox, 4 controller ports. I think the Dreamcast had 4 controller ports too. And then PS2, 2. Wait, y'all want to play multiplayer? Nah, fam. Run that $50 back. Run that $50 back. Yeah, no, Ratchet and Clank 2 was great. It was great. I don't know. I love the third one. Yo, Neo, have you played that Attack on Titan game? I saw it was on sale on Steam and Newegg. I have not played it. I've heard it's one of the better games in that particular genre because it's not really a Musou game. But, I mean, there's just too many other games out there that I'm going through. I can't really... You know, there's always going to be games that we want to check out, but we're like, it's okay for now. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Dreamcast. Well, to be fair, the Dreamcast kind of came and went. You know, that shit came out. It did its thing for a little bit. Then they just they packed it up, man. Hey, Zook Master, how you doing, bro? It's good to see you. Let's see. Oh, you beat the medium today? Yo, I mean, here's the thing, bro. I'm like halfway through the medium Havoc. My whole thing about the medium is I can't get down with that gameplay. The story is interesting. I like the story. I like the vibe, but that gameplay feels weird, man. It feels very strange. Hey, Neo, have you loaded up your PS4, Xbox One since you got the new consoles? So I actually did. When I was testing out some stuff, like, okay, I want to see how like the load times are on the Xbox One X versus the load times on the Series X. I did boot up my Xbox One X, and man, it was a night and day difference. It was a night and fucking day difference between the two. It was insane how fast the Series X runs. But other than that, I haven't really touched the consoles other than, you know, wiping it and then giving it to a family member. Because that's what I do. I don't sell my consoles. I just give it to other family members. Like my Xbox One X, which I had just bought last spring. I gave that to my brother to play. And my PS4 Pro, I let my sister hold on to that so she can play Persona, Yakuza. She's getting into Nier Automata. She's going to play that soon, which is awesome. And yeah, my siblings take good care of their stuff. So it's not a case of, oh, they're going to fuck something up. So yeah. Oh, we got $2 super chat coming in from the Black Phantom Thief. What's your favorite scene from the Mugen Train movie? Ooh. So I can't really answer this because of spoilers, and there are people in here who have not seen the movie yet. But since I assume you've already seen the movie Black Phantom Thief, it's in the final act involving two characters, and it's a very, how do I say this? Stand your ground type of moment. Fight for what you believe in. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff that happens in that scene that's just, man, it makes me emotional thinking about it. It was so powerful. It was so powerful. It's so good, man. It's so fucking good. Let's see. Nintendo should bring back dedicated handhelds like the 3DS. I mean, I kind of like the Switch. I view the Switch more as like the successor to the 3DS rather than a new home console, because it's not really equipped to be a home console, you know? I know, like, people are always saying, yeah, well, they could do a successor to 3DS. I think that's the Switch Lite, because that is just a handheld, period. That's all it is. So I don't know. I feel like they've got something good going on right now, so they really shouldn't rock the boat. They should just continue to improve on it in terms of performance and all that. The Kill la Kill fighting game was surprisingly good. I've heard decent things about that, but we always look at, you know this as well, we always look at anime games under this like particular lens of like, this is gonna be shitty, but if it's not shitty, you know. Let's see. Oh, I'm so sorry you got spoiled on that, Asbel. You see, that's why I try my best not to say anything, because already people on the internet, they just be terrible with spoilers, man. Like, I don't even know, like, who raised y'all? Like, when I was a kid and I saw movies in theaters, I was taught, I don't know who taught me this now that I think about it, but I was taught, just talk about that shit with people who've seen it. Don't ever try to say anything otherwise. But yeah, people these days just don't care. I remember, like, today, for example, this isn't a spoiler, but they just announced that they're working on a Captain America 4. And all of these websites that report news were using stills from the final episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm like, bro, the episode just aired. Stop it. Like, thankfully, like IGN, for example, they just used a photo of Sam Wilson, right? But these people were using photos of Sam Wilson as, no, this is not a spoiler. You guys know this, as Captain America. Like, it's like, bro, come on. No one's seen his costume yet. Like, can you wait 3 days? Ugh. As you guys can tell, I hate spoiler culture. I hate it. Yo, Neo, do you think getting a Series X is worth it even though you already have a decent PC? You've been wanting to get it. Absolutely. At least in my situation, I'm a console gamer. You guys know that. I like having a set-top box on my TV that I just turn on and it plays my games right then and there. Now, PC gaming has gotten considerably easier to deal with in the past 10 years, and that's fantastic. I love it. But for me, it's like I already spend so much time on the computer as is, between work, between YouTube, and a whole bunch of other stuff, that the last thing I want to do is just sit at my computer and play games. Unless it's a game that's only on PC, or I'm playing it for the performance on PC. Like, there's certain games that I would only get on PC because of the buttery smooth performance. Whereas consoles, if you can get that shit running at 60 frames per second, I'm gonna play it on consoles. Like, that's it. Like, going forward in this generation, if all the games hit 60 frames and they look good and they give you options in terms of performance, I'm okay with that. And you can't beat the price to performance ratio of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. You can't build a PC on that level for $500, $400. You can't do that. And it's just easier. It's just easier. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, all the Xbox games are on PC. Sure, you can play them with better specs and performance. Sure. But I just don't want to deal with the Windows Store or the Xbox app they have on here. It's not as good as it is on the console. And just for me, I like playing games in front of my TV, and I don't want to move my PC over to my TV. And it has nothing to do with PC gaming at all, because PC gaming is amazing, but I just prefer playing things on a console. And that's how I've always been, and I'll game on PC when I can, but I just like sitting in front of my TV, you know? I'm one of those people that just gets posted up on the couch, and I have a controller in hand, and I'm just chilling, man. Like, PC gaming is great. Everybody knows that. Like, I've had gaming PCs dating back to 2011, but it's never been my preferred way to game if the console equivalent is decent enough, you know? By the Windows Store, I was talking about the Xbox app that they have on here. It's just not as intuitive as gaming on Xbox, you know? Oh, let's see. We got a $13.99 Canadian super chat coming in from Colin, my boy. Do you desire to be rich? I feel torn because I feel uncomfortable being so rich that I wouldn't know what to do with my money. But I imagine all the good I could do if I was Bezos level rich. So honestly, Colin, I mean, I don't mind being rich at all. You know, if I have a decent amount of money at my disposal, that means I can do a lot more things. And I'm one of those people that I live a very simple life, you guys. Very simple. You know, like, for me, cars are just cars. You know, they get me from point A to point B, and I care more about reliability rather than trying to show off. Because at the end of the day, there's a certain threshold. Like, yes, when you start getting into luxury products and luxury brands, they are that way for a reason. Because when you look at what goes into the making of them, it's very fucking good. Very high quality stuff. But outside that, outside the performance that you get, you're really buying a lot of that stuff to impress other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you can't have a Ferrari or you can't have a Lambo or whatever, but the majority of people who buy those, they buy them to impress other people, which, if that's your prerogative, cool. But for me, it's like, I'll buy a nice car and I'll use it, but it doesn't have to be the nicest car in the world just to show that I got money. I'd rather use that money and spend it on more tangible things, like helping out people in my circle for whatever reason. And that's like one of the things I always say. It's like, when I'm like, if I ever comes a point where I make it big and I'm like really successful financially, nothing about me is really going to change, because I'm going to keep the same people in my circle. Whereas a lot of other people, unfortunately, they don't have the same people in their circle who can ground them. And that's how we get people who are, you know, just spending money like they're going out of style, and then they declare bankruptcy in a week. So for me, money is not even really an issue. Like, I don't think that having money makes you a better person, and I don't think not having money makes you a better person. It's just all about what you do with it. And for me, I would just live a very simple life. You know, I would afford the things I want, and then I'll also give back in some situations. Like, for people in my life who have helped me out in tremendous ways, I would want to give back to them. And in some cases, it doesn't have to be just giving them money. It could just be other things, you know, like having connections and helping people out. Like, there have been a lot of offers thrown my way as a content creator that even though I appreciate working with some of these companies, I just don't feel like I'm a right fit for them. So instead of me just saying no, I would say, hey, listen, I might not be a good fit for this. I'm just gonna be honest, but I can direct you to people who would actually be a great fit for this. Like, that's the type of impact that I want to leave, rather than just money, you know. But still, obviously having, like, when people say like money is the root of all evil or yada yada yada, or money doesn't buy happiness, money does not buy happiness. That is true. Everybody knows that having more money is not going to make you happier. But what money can do is it can fix a lot of problems that have made you feel some type of way. And everybody knows this, whether it's debt, whether it's like money that you need to fix up your house or what have you. Like, money can solve a lot of those problems so you can live easier, so you can do potentially better things. So yeah, I'm just very, very, like, I just have a very chill viewpoint when it comes to money and wealth. And, you know, I'm not one of those people who really pocket watches and says, you know, you should spend your money like this, because I don't give a fuck. That's your money. You do with your money what you want to do. I think what it comes down to is people, they kind of pervert the idea that you have to have money in order to be viewed as a success, or you have to have money in order to make an impact, which I think is really weird. It's a weird way of thinking, because all you really need to do to make an impact in this life is just to influence one person. That's all you need to do. Everyone's like, oh, I want to change like 100 million thousand lives or whatever. Okay, do that. Sure. But why not start with changing one person's life, making their life better in some way, shape, or form? Because from there, that person can influence somebody else. And then it keeps trickling down and down. And the thing about that is that we don't go out there and we don't say that we're doing these things. Like, we're here helping all these people and we're changing their lives. No, it's literally, you have a conversation with somebody and you impact their life. That's how it should be. We don't need to record ourselves giving food to the homeless people to show that we are good people. Like, it's just, I hate when people do that shit. I will say this though, if I ever make it big, I will have a stupid ass purchase that I make just to say that I did. I just don't know what it would be though. Like, everybody has that stupid ass purchase that they want to buy and they're like, whatever. Like, for some people, it's buying exotic animals. For some people, it's cars. I don't know what my stupid ass purchase would be. Knowing me, it might be like a life-size statue of something, like fucking, like in I want to say it's Midtown Comics. They have, I think, this giant Spider-Man that is on the wall. I don't know if they still have it there. It's been a few years since I've been there. But they have this giant Spider-Man that's just on the wall. I would buy one of those things. Like, I would legit build a house and I would just have this entire dominion, not just a room, a dominion, or domain, I should say, a domain, where I would just have, like, okay, here's Captain America's shield in this glass case, and here's a giant Spider-Man statue, a legit full-size Spider-Man statue. And then, you know, here's Darth Vader, and, you know, oh, there's Kiryu from Yakuza. I would be that type of person. And then it becomes a case of, oh, this is about to become Night in the Museum for real. But that would be fucking awesome. You know, you got Darth Vader, you got Kiryu, you got all these people in the same room. It's like, yo, let's get it. Let's get it. Just rent a photographer for a catalog of thirst traps. Quite cool. You know, don't you have some parenting to do as a father of two children? Must you torment this young, aspiring black man? Why are you an African man tearing down another African man? What's going on, Kwaku? You're hurting me, bro. Oh, shout out to K-Cube though. That's my homie. We go way back, man. We go way back. Fucking what, like 10 years? 10 plus years? Oh, we have $5 super chat from the homie Levin Loriano. What's going on? Hey, Neo. How you doing tonight? I'm really enjoying your channel. Question. Have you seen the Alienware concept UFO? It's supposed to be a Switch killer. Well, thank you for your super chat, Levin. And yeah, I actually did get a chance to see that via Twitter, because Twitter is where I see most of my news these days. And I mean, all those things like the Switch killer, all those, they look cool, but to be honest, there's a reason why there's a bunch of Switch killers and Switch prototype killers and all that stuff, and none of them ever reach the same level as the Nintendo Switch. And the same thing whenever they come out with like, oh, like Stadia said, oh, we're going to be a PlayStation 5 Xbox Series killer. I'm sorry. Every single stream, I got to take a jab at Stadia. It just is what it is, you guys. I'm sorry. If there are any Stadia fans in there, just know I feel for you. I don't know what y'all are playing right now, but I feel for you. But hey man, your kid's asleep. Oh god, so your kids are asleep. That means you get to bully me. Oh god, this is terrible. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool, Evan. But honestly, I feel like only Nintendo is gonna be the person that does the Switch right. And even then, Nintendo is still missing features in the Switch. But still, no one does it like Nintendo. And no one has the backing of Nintendo's too. Hey Neil, what's your favorite Ethiopian dish? Do you actually like kitfo? Oh my god, yes! Somebody, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. The holy month of Ramadan. Ethiopian food. Okay. So if you guys didn't know by now, and if you don't, here you go. I am actually 100% Ethiopian. Yes, both my parents were born in Ethiopia, which makes me 100% Ethiopian. And I actually am too, because my brother did the 23andMe test, and we're like 99.9999997% Ethiopian, which is insane to think about. And then that other little small fraction was like something in Northeast Africa. But you know, being Ethiopian, being African, I mean, not exclusively just African, but you know, every single culture we have access to not only American dishes but our own traditional dishes. And with Ethiopian food, for me, like growing up, one thing I love about my mom is that she made sure I had our culture's food. So growing up, I ate a lot of what, all right? It's literally what it's called. It's called what, guys? What? That's literally what it's called. And depending on like what the dish is, you know, they have like, you could do like chicken, you'd have eggs in there, you'd have lamb, a lot of lamb in Ethiopian cuisine. But for me, if I had to pick like a favorite food that I would always have, it'd be dorowat. It would be dorowat, some nice injera. And that's it for me. I'm good with that shit, bro. Of course, I do partake in the sambusas. Like I just had 10 sambusas when I was watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like every Friday during Ramadan, my mom makes sambusas, and we just like break bread and we just talk about stuff that we went through in the week. So those are my two favorite things. I mean, my mom fed me a whole bunch of different stuff when I was a kid, like kitfo. That was something I had a lot of. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of it, but I'm like kind of indifferent to it. Like if it's here, I'm gonna try it out. If I don't have it, it's not like I'm like, damn, this place needs some kitfo. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if I had to pick a cuisine from Ethiopian, if I had to pick an Ethiopian cuisine, it would definitely be dorowat and throwing some sambusas into the mix. Oh, but that's awesome. I love just people asking questions about Ethiopian culture. It's so cool. Oh, we have Colin coming in with another $6.99 super chat. Oh my God, Colin, my boy, blessing it tonight. What are your thoughts on the Derek? Oh, leave it to Colin. All right, what are your thoughts on the Derek Chauvin trial verdict? All I can say is I'm relieved that some justice has been served. So, honestly, like, this is good news. This is good news for everybody. It's good news for America that this guy who committed murder on camera is getting the books thrown at him. That is awesome. I am a little wary about really calling it justice, and I don't fault people for calling it justice. Like, if that's what we view as justice, it is. But to me, justice would be George Floyd being alive right now. This is more accountability than anything else, which is a start. And that's something I am happy to see. But honestly, I mean, every black guy knows this, but being a black man in America, unfortunately, we are a little bit cynical, because every single time we see something going good, you see the reality of America come afterwards. And, you know, I love this country. I've got love for this country. I've been in this country for my entire life. But like Sam Wilson said, we can be better. And the fact that it took video evidence to convict this guy, and even then people were shaking on whether or not he was going to be convicted, that really scares me, because there have been so many other situations that weren't recorded, and we know what happened in those situations. So it's a start, and I'm excited that this happened. But at the same time, if we don't start seeing the change, then it's just a one-off, you know, and that's what really bothers me. Because I feel you can make legit change. But man, oh my God, like there's so much shit that happened in the last Falcon and Winter Soldier episode that is so applicable to this whole situation. It's crazy. It's crazy. You guys gotta watch it. But yeah, it's something that is not going to be done overnight. It's going to take years, you guys. I'm talking like it legit might take a decade or two for this shit to actually make a difference, because it starts from within. You know, it's not just one bad apple here and there. It's the entire system of people. And I'm not go so far as to say it's completely 100% systemic, but when you have a bunch of people out there who are actually trying to report injustices within law enforcement and then they end up getting fired, it's like, okay, at that point, how can you say it's not systemic? Because that's literally trying to cover shit up because you want to protect your friend. So I don't know, like the cynical side in me is like, okay, this is good. I'm happy for him and his family. But it's just like literally like a few hours later, we see something else happens. You know, some cop shoots another kid that literally had his hands up. And it's just, yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. That's all I can say. That's all I can really say. It's just, we're baby stepping our way towards this. Okay. And that's the thing. Like, I have so many friends and family in law enforcement, and I have nothing but love for them. So when I'm speaking on this stuff, I'm thinking about them, right? Which is why I'll never say it's all cops who are bad, because it's not. But on some level, you got to look at it. If you are protecting and upholding a system that is corrupt, at what point do you have to take a stand and say, yo, there's something going on here? And that's something that, you know, one of my closest friends, he's a state trooper, and he's working his way within the system to reform it and do a good job. And I wish the best for him. And I always think about him when he goes out there. But, you know, he's just one person. You know, we need more people like him to stand up for what's right. Don't let the media fool you. They have the agenda. Well, everybody has an agenda. Every single person, whether it's Democrats, Republicans, unions, non-unions, all of them have an agenda. It is what it is. But still, when you start playing politics with people's lives, and that's something that everybody does. Everybody does that shit. So it's not something that's like, oh, it's just the media. It's not just the media. Everybody does that. So it's like, I hate when people just try to say, oh, well, you know, it's like the liberals have this agenda and they don't really care about this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, the Republicans don't care about that shit either. They don't even try to hide that fact. So I don't know why people always try to like pit like Democrats and Republicans against each other. Like either side really cares about people. Like, come the fuck on now. You know, it's so everybody's just grifters. That's all they are. That's all they are. As a white man, I'm very disgusted that George's case was made special. This is how it should have been all the time, and it's disgusting that it isn't. It's sad, Flame. It really is, and that's the problem, that it had to take a national outrage. When I had people over in like some of my subscribers in Australia were saying we're going to a George Floyd protest, and I was like, you know about George Floyd? It's like, yeah, this shit made worldwide news, man. We're doing a Black Lives Matter protest. I'm like, holy shit. Which just goes to show you, you know, the power that we have as individuals, you know? Let's see. Do you think the failure of Square Enix's Avengers game will cause Marvel to think wisely on who they want to develop the games based off their characters and teams? Yeah, definitely, Jimbo. I mean, because just looking at the success of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and even the moderate success of Ultimate Alliance 3, I know Marvel is looking at what happened to the Avengers game, and they're just like, fuck, bro. But then again, it was a different era when they first started off doing these Marvel games, like at least like the big budget, like going back to big budget games. And, you know, now I think go into the future, they're going to start looking at it very conservatively, like picking the right studio with the right IP. And I think that's going to work out well for them, which is why I really do hope that they continue doing this. And I'm glad they did not do the exclusive route where they have one publisher to work on an entire franchise. Like, could you imagine if Square Enix had the Marvel rights, period? Oh, God, we'd be so fucked. But still, like, I'm excited to see more stuff coming out from there. You know, and obviously Insomniac is working on Spider-Man 2. But I want to see what comes next. I want to see a Punisher game. I want to see a Daredevil game. I wouldn't even mind a legit, like a co-op Defenders game. That would be fucking amazing if they made a co-op game based off the Defenders. Oh my God, let's get it. What about you guys? Like, what is your dream video game project for a superhero? And what studio do you want to work on it? Like, you guys already know my pick, but I just don't know the type of studio who'd work on it. But my pick, and I keep bringing this up, is I would love a Daredevil game where in the morning time, you play as Matt Murdock, and you are, obviously, Matt Murdock. He's a lawyer, and he goes around investigating crimes and yada 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 and defending his clients and all that stuff. But at nighttime, you play as the man without fear. You play as Daredevil, and it's structured similar to like the Batman Arkham series with the combat, but it's more sparse in the sense that it's not just an open world for the sake of being an open world. It's done strategically in the sense that when you go to investigate crimes and everything, the information you get ties back to what you do in the morning as Matt Murdock. And when you do the courtroom scenes, it's kind of structured like L.A. Noire, where you would go and present your evidence, and you can throw in some like Ace Attorney action in there too. And yeah, that's like my type of game. I don't know who would work on it, mind you, but that's something I would love to go for. Oh, here we go. Mr. Platink is back in the chat. So tell us, Chris, when you look in the mirror, is it impossible not to smile at how sharp and good looking you are? Love that smile of yours. Mr. Platink, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a shame against humanity that there is such hatred in this world. Could you imagine if we authentically made the effort to love and understand each other? I think it starts with listening. Yeah, honestly, Mr. Platink, you said it right. It just comes with listening. You know, you don't have to sit. No one is going to ever agree on everything in life. It's stupid to think that. But all we can do is just lend an ear and listen and understanding. Like, that's the first step that we all take. And that's where I've been for the past, like, 10, 15 years. You know, just offer an ear to listen to somebody just so they can get their point of view across. But nowadays, people are just like, no. I'm closing my ears. I'm not listening. And that happens on both sides, whether you're a leftist or you're right wing. Like, people always say, oh, no, this is the party of free speech and thought. No, this is the party of diversity. It's like, both of you guys are frauds. Come on now. Hey, Neo, hope you're doing good. Just saw the Demon Slayer movie and I loved it. Will you be doing a thought/review? I think I might do that, Tempo. I want to see if I can try to get my sister involved in the review because she saw that movie with me and she's a big anime fan. So I think that'll be a nice dynamic. But yeah, I love the movie, bro. It was so good. I'm seeing it again this Sunday. No, I didn't see the Mortal Kombat movie yet, D-Money. I'm going to see if I can catch it this weekend. So let's see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Rocksteady. That seems to be the popular pick. Wasn't there a rumor a few years ago that they were working on that shit? So Ace Attorney and Arkham City having a baby would make that Daredevil game. Oh, don't forget L.A. Noire, at least as far as like the investigation stuff and third person, yada yada yada. A Deadpool video game made by the creators of My Friend Pedro. Ooh, that would be great. Any Marvel or DC fighting game by Arc Systems works. For single player stuff, probably Rockstar. Yo, I'm trying to think like, okay. All right. So here's my thing. I would love for Rockstar to work on a Punisher game. Cause like in terms of gameplay, like gameplay wise, Max Payne 3 was the best Rockstar gameplay for the past couple of years. And I think they could really handle that type of story very well. Either that or maybe Remedy could do a Punisher game. Possibly. But honestly, if I'm being real, I want Naughty Dog to do a Punisher game. I think Naughty Dog can give us that like mature storytelling and great third-person gameplay. Especially with The Last of Us Part 2 and how they did the whole like the prone shooting and mechanics and shit like that. That was great, man. An Invincible game would be interesting. I could see that from like fucking Sucker Punch. I could definitely see that. How did you like how Falcon and Winter Soldier ended? Well, without getting into spoilers, Nick, I actually really loved it. I wouldn't mind the studio that made Yakuza make a Wolverine or Iron Fist game. I could see them working on an Iron Fist game. Absolutely. Oh, no. Give him Shang-Chi. Give him Shang-Chi. Oh, God. Give Ryu Akatoku Studio Shang-Chi. Oh, God. All the family drama and that shit. Oh, man. It'd be amazing. But I don't know how that would translate in. Because the thing is, like, if they get a Marvel property, obviously, they're going to have to do different shit. They can't just, like, retrofit the same cities that they've been using, you know? They gotta make it a big step forward. Oh God, Nancy Pelosi. Oh God, her comments. That was just yikes. But man, people like that's my biggest problem, man. They gotta be age limits to this shit, bro. When you got people who are still in Congress since I was a baby, oh God, that is not okay. Ghost Rider. Ooh, Ghost Rider. I can see Ghost Rider from like the Devil May Cry team. That's a good idea. Yeah, United Front Games. Yo, yeah. Damn, that's some good picks. You got United Front Games, Ryuga Gotoku Studios, definitely as far as like the combat is concerned. So Iron Fist, Daredevil, Shang-Chi, Naughty Dog could do Punisher maybe, or Remedy could do Punisher maybe. Nah, you know what I want? I want Remedy to do a Doctor Strange game. Because after playing through Control and its story, I think they could tackle Doctor Strange. I can see them do Doctor Strange. Who else? I just want a Defenders game. That's what I want. Have you tried Ollie Ollie? I got it for $3 when I got my Switch, and it's so fun. I don't think it'll be fun to play on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I've heard about Ollie Ollie. I know they just announced something recently with it, though. But no, I've never played it. Arc Systems Works fighting game. Yakuza 0 style Yu Hakusho game. Yakuza style JoJo. Yep, Yakuza style JoJo is on my list, Asvel. A Yu Hakusho game by Ryuga Gotoku Studios. That would be... I don't know how they would incorporate all the different fighting styles. Like for Yusuke, it works out fine. But it would have to be very different. Like there's... No, just with the way Kurama, Hiei, and Kuwabara uses... how they use weapons. Like, yeah, you can use weapons in the Yakuza games, but it's not... Obviously, you know, this is the money right here. So I don't know how they would do that, you know? What's your favorite fighting game, Neo? Well, I'm not a big fighting gamer, as you guys know. I dabble in the genre, and by dabble, I literally mean dabble. But some of the recent fighting games I've really enjoyed, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I own that on the Switch, and one of my friends actually gifted it to me on PlayStation. And that's the game I've had the most amount of fun playing. Other than that, like Smash Brothers, but you know, it's not really a fighter. I just play that casually when we have friends and family over. But other than that, I mean, the last one I really played a lot of was Mortal Kombat 2011. I played a lot of that game. I love the story in that game so much. And then ever since then, like I've dabbled in a couple of things, like, you know, the Guilty Gears, the Blaze Blues. You know, every now and then when they come out with something interesting, I'll try it out, like Persona 4 Arena. But yeah, I've never really like stuck with a fighting game where I just come back to it year after year, because it's just not, it's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't mind seeing Sony Santa Monica work on a Hellboy game. That's a great idea, Jimbo. That is a great idea. Remedy is perfect for Doctor Strange. Yeah, see, I'm not alone in this. I'm not alone. I'm telling you, man. Remedy can make a great Doctor Strange. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe is the greatest fighting game ever made. Is it, though? I don't know. I remember when that game came out, a lot of people were like, I think it's because they toned down the violence because of the rating. That brings me back, bro. Mortal Kombat versus DC. That's been a minute, man. That has been a minute, you guys. Time flies. A Spawn game by Ninja Theory. I could see that. I want to see a Guardians of the Galaxy game. Yeah, that would be great too. Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy, if they were to do that kind of game, I would not even be upset if they made it a live service game. I'm not even going to lie, you guys, because just the idea of you creating your own Guardian of the Galaxy, or you could just use any of the characters there and you go on your missions and you do bounties and things like that. That would be so much fun for the online component. But the story portion of it, yo, you could make a legitimately epic story. Like the Telltale Guardians story was great. And just imagine if that had like great third-person combat and everything. Oh, what could have been? What could have been? But it's I don't know how they would balance so many different play styles. Like Peter Quill, obviously, you know, he's got his guns and everything, and he can be aerial. But then you got Gamora, who's more up in your face with her sword. You have Drax, who's just the brawler. Rocket is the projectile. And then you have Groot, who just, I am Groot's everything. So it'll be interesting, man. It's gonna take a really talented team to pull that stuff off. Who could pull off a Vision game? David Cage. David Cage, because he's just going to sit there monologuing. Have you ever heard of the Ship of Theseus? My boss just texted me they're low on staff on my day off. Should I go in or no? It depends. What is the workload looking like, Daniel Pack? And are you getting paid good money? Because remember, this is your off day, bro. This is your time off away from them. You got to think about those things. Sometimes it's okay to just say no. I've been trying to learn them competitively. There's so much technical jargon used in the FGC. Oh, absolutely, dude. That's why the funny thing is I follow a lot of players in the FGC. And even though I don't like legitimately know what the fuck they're talking about, it's so interesting to see them do these things and talk about frame data and all that. It's very, very interesting. But it takes a lot of work, it's easy to get into, hard to master. I think that's the fun in it and why it's bred such a long-running and dedicated community because of the complexities that exist. I think Insomniac should give the Spider-Man franchise a go. Yeah, I wonder what Insomniac could do with the Spider-Man game. I want a new Fallout New Vegas game with vehicles and bigger New Vegas Strip, also better graphics and gunplay. Man, I've been waiting for New Vegas 2 for the longest time, but you know what? Obsidian, they're going to be working on Avowed, so sometimes we just got to accept that there's never going to be another sequel to a game we love, and we can just leave it at that. $19 an hour, but I'm kind of vibing playing Ori. Daniel Pack, enjoy your day, bro. Enjoy it. Just relax, have fun, and that's it, bro. Like sometimes you just got to realize it's okay to say no to your job, because you'll get to a point later on in life where you're like, damn, why did I work so much for that job? I should have just taken more time for myself. Like, it's one thing if you have a goal, like let's just say, for example, you want to clear up some debt. Yeah, okay, work some extra hours, get that money, clear that shit out. But if you just vibing, enjoying your night, sometimes you just need a mental day, bro. That's fine. Enjoy Ori. Listen to the music. Avowed is a bad name. So is Forspoken. I feel like there are worse names than that, Asbel. Like Near Replicant V.187-42 triple back double assist combo foot dive. How about a Wonder Woman game by the God of War creators? I could see that, Levin. Yeah. Jimbo mentioned a Hellboy game from Sony Santa Monica. So yeah, Wonder Woman, sure. We talked about Returnal. Returnal's looking very, very good. I can't wait to get it next week. Thoughts on Gotham Knights? I think Gotham Knights is looking fantastic. I was a little bummed by the delay, but given it's COVID season and everything, of course everything's going to get delayed. So it is what it is, but it's looking fantastic. I've been missing the Arkham gameplay for a while, and while I love the Spider-Man games and I prefer the combat in that, I just love the array of weaponry you get from the Bat family, and this one is going to have different characters, and it's just, oh god, I can't wait. That begs the question though. That means that both Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad, Let's Kill Superman, or whatever it's called, Let's Kill the Justice League, that are they going to come out in the same year, or is that going to be pushed back to 2023? I know they're different games entirely, but Winter Soldier game by the Gears team. So I'm not opposed to the Coalition working on that, but it can't play the same as Gears in terms of like that ruggedish feeling. I feel like the characters need to have more maneuverability. You get what I'm saying? Like they can't just be like dum 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 dum. Like I would want them to just go full on third person where the character can move around freely instead of like hunching like this. Spider-Man 2099 made by CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red got to sit the fuck down. That's what they need to do. They don't need to touch nothing else. I'm just waiting for them to go do a New Vegas remaster. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do, you guys. Apparently, Square Enix is working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game. It was announced years ago, though. I very, very vaguely remember that. And I don't know why, Jimbo. Like, when I'm talking vaguely, like, literally, you just unlocked a memory in my mind. I was like, Why does that sound familiar? Maybe. Yeah, DC in general, just they can't get away from the Bat family because the Bat family is their honey hole, which I understand from a business standpoint. But bro, y'all got to take some fucking risks. Like, can we get something else? Can we get a Flash game? Can we get a Superman game? Can we get a Wonder Woman game? Can we get anybody else in DC that is not related to Batman? Please. I believe the Deus Ex developers are doing the Guardians games. Oh. I mean, they're a good studio, but do they want to work on that game? Or they were forced to work on that game? Because I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of, like, I don't know if Crystal Dynamics really wanted to work on that Avengers game. I don't know. Like, obviously, they're going to do what they can, but I don't know, man. After seeing what Square Enix did to the last Deus Ex game with all the microtransactions and all that fuck shit, we got this Green Lantern game featuring Ryan Reynolds. Oh, Lord. What was that thing called? Green Lantern Rise of... Green Lantern something. I gotta look this shit up. Hold up. Let me see. Let me see that shit. Green Lantern game. Rise of the Manhunters. Yeah. Oh, God. That was some trash, bro. Bro, I love how... Okay. So the funny thing... Bro. This is an interesting era where... So, as you guys know, in the 7th generation with the PS3, 360, and the Wii version was usually the PS2 version because they were still making PS2 games. And for this game in particular, the 360, PS3, and I guess if they did the PC version, I don't know. It had the movie design of Ryan Reynolds on there. But when you go to the Wii version, it had like an animated one because of the graphics. I just, going from that to that, maybe the Wii version was the better version because of that. Oh, God. That was the era of licensed movie tie-ins. My Lord, guys. My Lord. That was... You know what was the last decent one, though? That X-Men Origins Wolverine game. You guys ever play that? Oh, man. That very repetitive. But it was very fun. It was bloody fun. Bloodbath. Yeah, there's a bunch of superhero shit that got canceled. Like, there was a canceled Avengers game, canceled Justice League game, canceled Flash game. Oh, God. Thanos game made by Naughty Dog. They're great at making villains with a heavy emphasis on talking about the violence, but doing nothing with that talk message-wise. Hey, man, listen. It's all about the layers, and not everyone... There's no good or evil in Apocalypse. It's just a matter of perspective. But, bro, a Thanos game. That'd be so funny. What would you do in a Thanos game? Just round up Infinity Stones, kicking niggas in the nuts? That's basically what it is. That's basically what the entire movie of Infinity War was, just Thanos rolling up on people and stealing their shit. Now, Thanos is the only supervillain I think that actually could call people the N-word, and no one can do anything to stop him. Like, he's just gonna say it regardless. He's just gonna steal your stones and call you the N-word. That's how it is, bro. It's terrible. I'd pay $70 for that. It would be completely different. I'm telling you. What about a Magneto game? What? Yo, a Magneto game by Sucker Punch. I can see that shit. But he's got to have the line, though. He's got to have the line. He's got to have the fucking line. You got to say, "Gravity squeeze, you are defeated." If he doesn't say that line, it ain't no fucking Magneto game. It is not. Black Panther, Rocksteady. I can see that. We got to get some more creative developers. We always pick the same 5. Someone from Capcom. What could Capcom work on? A Marvel Zombies game? No, they could definitely work on a Ghost Rider game if they give it to the Devil May Cry team. They could definitely do that. Let me see. Honestly, shit, there's a couple of... it depends on the talent. Honestly, it depends on the talent. Josh Brolin saying the N-word, too much power. Oh, absolutely, bro. I'm telling you, if Thanos ever says the N-word, we're just going to sit back and we just got to accept it. We just got to accept it, man. What are we going to do about it? Us mere mortals. Well, Capcom, they said they haven't abandoned Mega Man because the last game had really good legs. So we're due for another Mega Man game. I think it's just because that they take... Because the thing with... I don't know what it is. I guess because it is a platformer. But they're just... Those are the kind of games where if you don't get it right out the go, people are going to notice and they're just going to say, I'm not fucking with this shit anymore. So I think that's why they're taking their time on this new one, if it is in development. Which it should be based off of how the last one sold. But Monster Hunter is their bread and butter, though. Next to Resident Evil, Monster Hunter World, y'all see how much that game sold? Holy shit. And I mean, it's good, too. It's not like they're really milking it, because World is doing amazing. Monster Hunter Rise is crushing it on the Switch, and it's coming to PC next year. So, Monster Hunter, like, they didn't really milk it in the past couple of years. Like, what, they had Monster Hunter World, its expansions. You had Generations 4 Ultimate come out on the Switch years ago, and now you have Rise. So it's, I don't think they're really milking it like they used to. They're making them more like they have longevity, you know? Well, I guess he's purple, so it's okay for him to say it. Oh, Taha, it might be, bro. How you doing, by the way, Taha? It's kind of funny because, like, so Taha Sajal, if you guys don't know him, you know, he's been a fan of the channel for a while. He's a homie. But if you follow Weapon Wheel Podcast, Taha Sajal, for I think the longest time, was the unofficial timestamp guru. So he was that person when you come to the podcast, you go into the comment section, Taha was over there having, all right, so this is the intro. Here's this point where they talk about this topic. Here's everybody roasting BG. Like Taha, the homie right there. Shout out to you, bro. There are many a Weapon Wheel episode that I go back and listen to, and I see you in the comments pinned because you have everything lined out, bro. Shout out to Taha. I want another Battle Network game. Oh, we all do. Fear no hate. We all do. Why they haven't done a Battle Network collection is beyond me, bro. It's been years. Like, bro, you've ported Resident Evil like 40 different times. You're porting Ace Attorney. You ported Okami. What is it about Battle Network? I don't know. They just don't want to acknowledge that Mega Man really exists like that. I don't know why. Yeah, I remember that shit, Taha. And I remember, what they also remember is that BG mispronounced your name like every other time. What did he call you? He called you Taja. He called you Taja. And I'm like, BG, there's no J in his first name. Unless there was back then, I don't know. But he said Taja Sajal. Hooked on Phonics, work for me. We just need them legacy collections. Oh, Sterling, what's up, bro? How you doing? What are your thoughts on the creative director of Marvel's Avengers dipping? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be a nice guy today. Man. Listen, he says that the game is in great hands. You know, I agree. The game is in some hands. That's all I can say. I'm gonna be nice today. It's Friday. I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. Oh, I still got my Battle Network cartridge somewhere up here. Somewhere up here. I'll have to find it and I'll show it on the next stream. But I had my first one was Battle Network 5. I had did I have Proto? I think I had Proto Man. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a great deal right there, NKDN. He got Mega Man Legends for the PlayStation 1 for $3 at a thrift store. That's amazing. Yo, Neo, you ever play the Isomnium Files? You know what the thing is? Everyone's been telling me to play those games. They quality? Because I see them all the time. I see them on sale, but it's kind of one of those things I just gotta like buckle down and play once I finish everything. But as soon as I finish something, there's something new out there. Like, I'm finishing up Yakuza Like a Dragon, and boom, Sega's in my DM saying, here's Judgment. Boom, Square Enix is in my DM saying, here's New Replicant. And then as soon as you know it, next week, we got Returnal. And then a few weeks after that, we got Resident Evil 8. Oh my God. I have not been like this with gaming in a while, man. It's been so long. Are you celebrating Ramadan? So here's the thing. I don't really, like, how do I say this? So my mom, celebrates Ramadan. She does that every single year. Me, myself, and I don't necessarily do that. I mean, I do my fasting for my own spiritual health and everything, but I just don't subscribe to that. But I do respect her in her beliefs and when she does it, and I'm always there with her when she breaks her fast, and we talk about stuff and everything. Because I'm that type of person where it's like, even though if we don't have the same religion, if you're a good person to me, I respect you. And if you're ever doing something, I respect you at the time. Like, I'm not the type of person saying, oh, let's go get brunch. No, I'm fasting. Like, I'm not one of those people who says, oh, why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I'm just kind of like that decent dude that everybody hangs around with because he respects everybody for who they are. And that's just the type of person I am. I don't, you know, I always talk about this, but to me, I don't care who you are. I don't care what's between your legs. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care what religion you practice. Are you a good person? If you're a good person, we're going to get along. If you're not a good person, then I don't give a fuck. Big question. Catherine, Xbox 360 cover art or PS3 cover art? Ooh. They're both good, though, in different ways. I don't know. I like the PS3 one a little bit more, but I got to look at them side by side again. Hold on. Let me see this. Look at them side by side. Okay. Like, I had the game on PS3, so I'm partial to that, but I like the 360 box art, and I also like full bodies, so, honestly, I'll go for the PS3. I'll go for the PS3. Oh, God, yeah, that's right, we got the Mass Effect remaster, too. Fuck! This is a good thing. This is actually a good thing, you guys. It's been a dry spell, and now we're getting some games. Oh, 13 Sentinels is that true Fazbell. I'm not getting into it because of spoilers, but yo, that shit is wild. Very good story. Oh, wow, it's interesting, NKDN. Oh. The more you know. One of my sisters drank my last Red Bull. Should I knock him out or no? No. You shouldn't do that. I mean, did you need the Red Bull? Did you really need it? But nah, I wouldn't. I would just... In retaliation, I would take one of their things, you know? Yeah, 13 Sentinels, you guys. 13 Sentinels is very good. Hey, what's going on, Pie Studios? How you doing? How you doing? Yes, it's going to be a good gaming season, guys. Let's see what we got. So, we had Judgment come out. We have Nier Replicant out. We have Returnal next week. Resident Evil 8, Mass Effect Remaster, Ratchet and Clank, and that's all I really know about for the next, 2 months. And then in the fall, I know we have Tales of Arise. I don't know if Horizon 2 is going to hit this year because they've been very quiet about it. But we'll see. If we don't see anything by E3, I think it's probably going to be delayed, which I don't have a problem with. But yeah, what else is coming out at the end of the year? Besides, the small things here and there, like the Great Ace Attorney and all that. I really don't know what else is coming out this year because everything gets delayed. Yeah, the Neo, The World Ends With You. Oh, and Samurai Warriors 5 is that day too? Rest in peace. But I'm definitely getting Great Ace Attorney and Neo, The World Ends With You that day. I don't give a fuck, man. I already put aside my $100 for that shit. Oh, we got Kenna, too. I don't know why I keep forgetting about Kenna. No, because Kenna got delayed. That's why. Psychonaut. Yeah. What is his name? Tim Schafer said that the game is still on track for this year, which is cool. They've been working on Psychonauts 2 for a few years now. With my Xbox Series X coming to my home soon, I can't wait to play Resident Evil 8. Oh, God, yo, that Series X is going to be some greatness, bro. Anyone who gets a Series X or a PlayStation 5, when you guys experience, the better frame rates, the better resolutions, and the speed of the consoles, it's so good, guys. People always tell me, why do you have an next-gen console if you don't really have a lot of next-gen games? And I said, if I'm going to be playing all my old games, I want them to look and run the best. Of course I'm going to have a console because the games are coming. You know? For me, I can't play. I would not go back to my Xbox One X and play something like Outriders, because I was playing with one of my homies and he had Outriders on the One S, and bro, it took that boy like not minutes. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it took him some time to load into the game, guys. Meanwhile, on the Series X, it's like No More Heroes 3. There it is. Yeah, Kenna looks beautiful. Kenna looks like a DreamWorks movie come to life. But will it be better than Shrek? I don't know. The jury is still out on that one. Back for Blood in October. Yep. Plus, that PS5 is quiet compared to the PS4 Pro. Oh, Taha, you know how it is, bro. That Jet Station 4, taking off. Prepare for liftoff, everybody. I do not miss my PS4 Pro, you guys. That thing, it lets you know it was playing games. That thing came in the room. No, you didn't even have to be in the room. You heard that shit down the hallway. She was like, that thing was louder than my gaming PC. Kenna is console exclusive to PlayStation. Yes, I will be playing Returnal next week. I can't wait. After Snyder's Justice League, do you think we'll have to wait another 2 decades before he makes a good movie? No, because he's got that new Army of the Dead movie coming out on Netflix, and that looks pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but from what I've been seeing, it looks solid. Neo, have you watched Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai? It is not as lewd as it sounds. It makes you think. I haven't, but if it's not lewd like that, then I'll check it out, because you guys know how it is with me and fan service and anime. I turn it off if I see an overabundance of fan service. Are you getting that Shrek 4K Blu-ray? Oh yeah, it's already pre-ordered, baby. And I'm gonna see Shrek in theaters because they're showing it for the 20th anniversary. Oh, yeah, let's get it. Xbox should get Back for Blood day one on Game Pass. That would be a major win for them, Cold. Absolutely. Because that's essentially Left 4 Dead 3 on drugs. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks very much like a B movie. And I'm here for that shit, because sometimes we need that. It's a psychological anime? Okay. Bro, how is that Xbox Series X? I almost bought a Series S, but I was on the fence. If you are on the fence between the Series S and the X, get the Series X. If you have the opportunity to get the Series X over the S, get the Series X. Because in the long run, it's going to serve you better. You're going to get more of that next-gen feeling out of it versus the S. Now, I got no problem with the Xbox Series S. People who want to buy the console, they buy the console. That's fine. I've toyed with getting a Series S to put in like another room just to game there. But if I had to pick between the two, obviously I want the Series X for the better storage and the beefier hardware. Now, the Series S is a perfect companion console if, let's say, you have a PlayStation 5, but you want to try out the Xbox games or Game Pass. Oh, Series S is perfect. But the fact that it's still... the fact that it's locked... I mean, it's not locked at 1080p. There are some games that go higher than that. But as the generation continues, I don't really think you're going to be seeing higher frame rates out of the Series S, which, for its price, that's okay. But as time progresses, unless they drop that price down, that $300 is not... I don't know. I have a hard time telling someone to buy that versus the Series X, which I know $200 difference is a lot of money, but if I were to tell somebody, yo, for an extra $200, you get the best out of Xbox, and they already wanted to buy an Xbox, I would say go for the Series X. Yes, Noragami is great. Hey, Chuck, how you doing, bro? I mean, for what they were able to pull off with the Series S right now, it's very good. And the fact that it is, even though it doesn't run all of the games that the One X did at the same resolution, the speed of the console, what you get out of it because of the new architecture and everything, and the improvements is dope. But still, if someone already has the One X, I would tell them just to keep the X in the name and get the Series X. You're constantly moving between two places, so Series S looks really appealing. Yeah, absolutely, Daniel Pack. It's so, if you guys have seen the Series S in person, it's a very tiny console. So in that situation, that's perfect. Like, let's say, for example, okay, so when I was with my ex, there were times where I was constantly over at her place. And every single time, like, I was over at her place, I mean, I didn't mind it because I brought my Nintendo Switch and everything. But every now and then, you know, like when you're in a relationship with somebody for a really long time and you're at each other's places, sometimes you just want to like game on something that isn't the Switch. You want to game on a TV. So if we were still together, I would totally buy a Series S, leave it at her place. And then if I ever wanted to continue gaming, you know, I would just play there. Don't have to worry about streaming. And because Xbox is fucking amazing, it syncs all your save data to the cloud. I could just go there, sign in, and continue right where I fucking left off. That's one thing I love about Xbox. I will say Xbox is better at this shit. Everything is seamless on Xbox when it comes to multiple devices. Whether it's on PC, console, xCloud, everything is synced. It's so good. How long until DreamWorks makes a gritty live-action R-rated version of Shrek starring Vin Diesel as Shrek? Well, as soon as Family stops being profitable at the box office, Jimbo. I got a PC, so I'm good. Plus, I have Game Pass on PC. But what do you think about Sony's reversal of taking down the PS3 store? Good for them that they actually listened to their consumers instead of... Like, the problem wasn't taking down the store. The problem was giving people a last minute notice and saying, hey, the store is going down in 4 months. Too bad, so sad. That was the issue most people had. But I'm glad they reversed that and you can still buy your games. But I don't know. I mean, just the fact that there is no backwards compatibility on PlayStation, it really... Like, going forward, obviously, it's not going to be a problem because they're going to use the same architecture and continue on. But that's still 3 generations lost in the past. And while Xbox's backwards compatibility is not perfect, it's still a hell of a lot better, you know? Yeah, that's perfect. Series S for the man cave, Series X for the man cave, Series S for the living room. Yeah, I would do the same thing. Like right now I have my Series X in my bedroom, but if I had a Series S, I would definitely put that like downstairs. Sometimes you just want a change of pace out of your scenery, you know? Yo, am I the only one who's never seen a Vita in the wild? I've seen a few Vitas in the wild, fear no hate, but yeah, they're not common. I mean, there's only like 13 million Vitas in the world, which sounds like a lot, but is really not. Fast and Furious Shrek crossover. It ain't ogre until it's ogre. Family. Hey, yo, what's up, Darren? Broken Bond review when it becomes backwards compatible on Xbox. Is it worth it to play the Resident Evil 8 demo if you already pre-ordered the game? Well, I can't answer that question for you because I'm not playing the demo. I haven't touched any of the demos they put out because I just want to go into the game blind. Like I was skimming through the recent Resident Evil 8 showcase they had because I didn't want to be spoiled on shit. So I was like, nope. Like I watched a few bits of it. I was like, yeah, that's good. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Oh, that's good. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Like, dog, I haven't watched you since like 2009 when you were making those Naruto PS2, PS3 game reviews. This is blowing my mind. Nostalgia blast. Yeah, man. It's been a minute, bro. It has been a minute. Time flies. We had someone else in the chat earlier tonight talk about how, like, yeah, he watched from the Dragon Ball Z Kai days when I made videos on that. Bro, it's crazy, right? But it's good. It's good to see you, piece of shit frog. Hope you're doing well. Hope things have been good with you for the past 12 years, man. Did you get Persona 5 Strikers yet? Shit, it's mad fun. So I'm going to pick the game up after I finish up Royal. I know, I haven't finished it yet, you guys. I know. It's a long-ass fucking game. It's a long-ass fucking game. What can I tell you? Taking my time. How many days of anime would you say that you've watched? Days? Oh, I don't know about days. Definitely years. Definitely years of anime I've watched. Because, you know, you got to figure, like, just something like, let's look at, I don't know. Let's take One Piece, for example, right? One Piece is it's about to be 1,000 episodes. You figure every single episode is about 20, let's say 25 minutes, right? That comes down to 25,000. Oh my God. 25,000? Wow. Divided by, we'll do, yeah, no. Definitely One Piece alone you're watching for fucking years. Oh god. Yeah, definitely years of anime, guys. Because there's so many. I'm just looking at all these series that I've watched and how many hours of entertainment you get out of them. Bare minimum, I'm looking at one shelf, and that's already like a whole 2-3 months of anime binging. This is a lot. It's a lot, man. And that's not even a lot compared to most people in the community, because I haven't been watching as much anime as I used to as a teenager. I saw Vita in The Last of Us Part 2 and the girl died for having it. Yep, the last known Vita owner died in The Last of Us Part 2. I'm surprised they still had chargers for that shit. Is Persona 5 Strikers worth picking up if I've never played Persona? I'd like to get into the series, but all I have is Xbox and Switch, so Strikers is all I could get. Well, I can't answer that for you because I haven't played Strikers, but the general consensus from every single person I've talked to is that it's one of the better Musou games because it's not just hack and slash all these enemies and move on. They actually do incorporate a lot of RPG mechanics. But from what I'm hearing, the story does take place after Persona 5 Royal. So there might be some spoilers ahead. So Neo, question, what do you think about 2022? Will it be better or worse than 2020? Also, will you ever play Bendy and the Ink Machine? It's a really good game, but if you don't like it, I understand. So in terms of 2022 versus 2020, I'm not sure in what respect you're talking about. Are you talking about like in terms of game releases? Well, obviously 2022 is going to be stacked for game releases, but if we're talking about just in general, I don't know how to quantify that statement. Like, do you think 2022 would be better than 2020? You know? But Bendy and the Ink Machine, I mean, I'll add it to the list, but like I said, it's going to be some time before I get through everything, you know what I'm saying? Not Royal, just original Persona 5. Yeah, but even so, Asbel, in his particular situation, he hasn't played Persona 5 at all. So he's still kind of shit out of luck, man, of wanting to play it. Yeah, 2022 is going to be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if next year we start seeing a lot of game delays. Not because the games aren't ready, but because there's just too much shit coming out. Guys, everything from 2020 that got delayed into 2021 and is now being delayed to 2022. What about the stuff that was in development that was set to target 2022? Now that shit's got to be delayed because of COVID, and then just because of all the games coming out. It's insane. It's insane. But I think gaming-wise, it's going to be better because 2020, we had a lot of games, but a lot of games also got delayed. So, it's going to be so insane between the movies, between the games, between everything coming out, man. 2022 it's just, dude, looking at the Marvel movies alone, what do we have in 2022? We have, okay, so starting from the top, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We have the next Thor movie. We have, because they kept delaying stuff, so I don't really recall too much. Doctor Strange, Thor. We have all the series that are coming on Netflix. We have Spider-Verse 2. We have a shit ton of stuff happening. What? There was something, I legit have forgotten the rest of the Marvel movies coming out in 2022. I know Eternals didn't get delayed, into 2022. I don't think so. Let me see. Okay. So starting this July, we have Black Widow. And then in September, we have Shang-Chi. Then in November, 2 months later, we have Eternals. Then in December, 2 months later. No, 1 month later, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Then in March, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Then we have a month and a half later, Thor Love and Thunder. Then Black Panther 2. Then Captain Marvel 2. Then Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, which is most likely going to be delayed into 2023 because that would be 1, 2, 3. That'd be 5 Marvel movies. I don't think they're going to do that. So that would be 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we know is 2023. Fantastic Forest TBA. And then we have this Captain America movie that they just announced, but that's most likely to be like 2024 at the earliest. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shit, man. Oh my God. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be eating good, you guys. Oh, and then Colin came through with a $2.79 Canadian super chat. Colin, my boy. What's your least favorite MCU movie and why? Okay. MCU question time. My least favorite MCU movie. Okay. So there are MCU movies that I think are bad, and then there are also MCU movies that I think are just underwhelming. So a lot of people would put like something like Iron Man 2 as like one of the worst MCU movies. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I don't think it's great, especially following up the first one. But to say it's legitimately bad, nah, they just sequel baited the movie. Now, something like Iron Man 3, on the other hand, I actively dislike that film. Like, I understand that at the time they made a choice, but the fact that they walked back that choice just goes to show you that it was not a good choice at all. And just, so movies like Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain Marvel, none of them are like really like terrible movies, but they just did nothing for me. They didn't really do anything to really further this universe. And in the case of like Captain Marvel, they were billing this as, oh, see why Captain Marvel being in Avengers Endgame is so important by watching her in her solo movie. It just, yeah, I didn't get anything from that Captain Marvel movie. I got absolutely nothing. I was whelmed, which for me, it's like, I would rather the movie be great or the movie be terrible. Don't whelm me. Do not whelm me with a movie. Which is what happened with Captain Marvel. I went into that shit. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is hitting for. I got nothing from this shit. I got nothing from this shit other than good banter from Samuel L. Jackson and everybody else he interacted with. So if I had to pick, I would say worst one, probably a tie between Iron Man 3 or Thor the Dark World. But the one that was honestly like the most disappointing, whereas in I don't care about anything that happens to the characters here or in the future, definitely Captain Marvel. And that does not have to do with Brie Larson, because I love Brie Larson. She's an amazing actress. But the movie she was in, Captain Marvel, was just weak as fuck. Yeah, like Captain Marvel was fucking boring. There's nothing in Captain Marvel that made you go, yo, this is the genesis of a hero. Like every single one of the MCU movies, they have that moment where it's like, I'm on board with this shit. But Captain Marvel, it's just nothing about her. Like no fucking conflict for her. Like none of, I don't know. I feel like if they didn't have all the callbacks and references and, ooh, remember this? I don't think people would really care about Captain Marvel. It feels like a movie that should have come out in like 2003. See, that's the thing, Flame. I loved Thor Ragnarok. I love it. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. And it's different in the fact that, yes, they could have focused more on the bleak side of the Ragnarok story. I understand that wholeheartedly. That's why Thor Ragnarok is one of those movies where I can understand why people don't like it. And I'm not going to tell them they're wrong for it. Because I love the movie. But I can totally see why. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like it. So it's one of those like to each their own sort of things. But yeah, definitely Captain Marvel, Thor 2, Iron Man 3, and then above that Iron Man 2. Yeah, those would be the ones. You see, the thing about the reason why we love Tony Stark as Iron Man, Tony Stark is an asshole. And anyone who's read the Iron Man comics knows Tony Stark is one of the biggest assholes out there. Robert Downey Jr. plays that character up to a T, but we love when he's an asshole because at least he's like funny with this shit. Like Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers comes off as cocky, but it doesn't come off as cocky like you're in control of the room. When Robert Downey Jr. comes into a room as Tony Stark, he is in control of the room. If Brie Larson comes into the room talking about she's going to like fuck some shit up, okay, she probably could because of her power, but I just don't believe that shit, you know? The Ant-Man movies are pretty forgettable to me, to be honest, says Colin. I can totally see that. I like the Ant-Man movies. I think they're nice little harmless flicks. They've got some good humor to them. And just given what they went through to get the first movie off the ground, that movie took almost 10 years. I kind of appreciate them for what it is. And especially after Infinity War, I liked that Ant-Man 2 was kind of like the palate cleanser, where it's like, we just went through some serious shit. We need a funny movie about Scott Lang and his friends doing shit. I am excited for Ant-Man 3, though, because that one, I wouldn't be surprised if they start seeding some Fantastic Four stuff in that movie. Doctor Strange, I love Doctor Strange. Like, to me, it's like if I had to pick like top MCU movies, obviously anything the Russo brothers directed is top movie for me. Captain America: Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, amazing movies. Those are like, that's my top 4 right there. But then, I also have Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in there, Thor Ragnarok. I have Doctor Strange in there, the first Iron Man movie, obviously. And then after that, it starts getting into like these can go either way. You know what I'm saying? Those are the movies like the Spider-Man Homecoming, well, the Spider-Man movies in the MCU, Black Panther, things like that. Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to Ant-Man 3. Because Kang! We was Kangs! Dude, but Captain America, the Winter Soldier. That's why I love Falcon and Winter Soldier, because it brought us back to that level of storytelling that we got in the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. It was so good, man. And if they can bring that energy for the next Captain America movie, oh, we gonna be eating good. But speaking of eating good, you guys, I think it's time that your boy retires for the night and gets himself some food. Because we've been streaming for what, like almost 2.5 hours now. Holy shit. I'm telling you, these streams, they just fly by, you guys. My God. Jesus. Oh, yeah, about to be 2.5 hours. But I'm going to answer one last question, because All Things Evil did ask it before I said we're ending it. What do you think about the next Spider-Verse movie having 3 directors? Under normal circumstances, I am a person who is not a fan of too many cooks in the kitchen, but just based off how like the previous Spider-Verse movie was handled, how they did have multiple directors and multiple creatives on board, it seems to be working well. And I like the dynamic that they have with these 3 directors, because they all specialize in something different. So one of the directors that they have working on it actually spent a lot of time on Avatar: The Last Airbender, Avatar: Legend of Korra. So he knows how to handle a lot of animated movies, especially animated series with emphasis on action, which both of those series had great choreography. And that's something that the Spider-Verse movie could have used, better fight scenes. So I'm excited about that potentially being there. I'm excited about him blending that level of storytelling to Spider-Verse. And then they also have another director who co-directed the recent Pixar movie Soul, and that was fantastic. He co-directed it, and I think he wrote it as well. So they're just getting a lot of good talent on that sequel, which is what I'm looking forward to. They started working on the animation last spring, like right when the pandemic started, which was crazy. So yeah, I think if they just keep the same energy of the first one, and then maybe instill like new lessons and values, it should be okay. But I'm gonna say this: they're gonna have a hard time topping the first movie, because that's just like lightning in a bottle, man. Like, nobody expected Into the Spider-Verse to be as good as it was, myself included. I remember I saw that first trailer, I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? Then I saw the movie and I was like, this is the greatest Spider-Man movie I've ever seen, greatest anime movie I've ever seen. It's amazing. But we'll see. But yeah, you guys, we wrapping it up. We wrapping it up for tonight, going for 2.5 hours. As always, everybody, it is a pleasure, a privilege, and an honor to be in y'all's company. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me through the stream. I noticed a lot of you guys have been here since the very beginning, which is fucking awesome. Thank you guys so much. One last thing, if you guys did enjoy the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. It sends this video out into the ether, so we can get a lot of new people into this little weirdo family of ours. Check back tomorrow night for the all-inclusive Dragon Ball podcast, sponsored by Marcus Doyle Terrell, because he's been the one who's been pushing this, and he finally gave us the final multiple kicks in the ass that we needed to get this thing off the ground. So that'll be going on tomorrow night. We haven't set the exact time yet, but it should be going down anywhere from like 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to like 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as a start time. So somewhere within that ballpark. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for all the super chat donations. And until we meet again, which will be in a little less than 24 hours, for me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Wait. Nope. Don't click off that video yet. I just realized we did an entire stream and nobody reminded me of doing a hydration check. What? Okay, y'all are slacking now because we do every single stream and we got to do a hydration check. So I'm pause the stream. We going on for another 2 minutes or so. I want y'all to get yourself a beverage, right? Preferably H2O. And we're going to make sure that you guys get your daily water intake because it's a necessity. It's a necessity. You cannot be caught out in these streets without a beverage. So yes, all right. I mentioned hydration check though, I think. Oh, well, according to Cold, apparently Cold did that. So we'll have to scroll back up later. But anyways, it's time for a hydration check. Oh, no, Pie Studios. You got to get even more hydrated. You got to get rehydrated. Anyways. All right, here we go, guys. Ready? Everyone got their drinks? How about orange juice? I got no water right now. Fuck it, Daniel Pat. Get that vitamin C in you. Here we go, guys. Ready? Here we go. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Ready? Here we go. All right. I count 3, 2, 1. All right. Now that is our hydration check for now. I can't drink too much because I got to eat afterwards, and we got to keep these gains coming, so we can't be full off of agua. But yeah, you got that Arnold Palmer. Hey, there we go, Dimwit Monkey. Love it. Anyways, y'all, enjoy the rest of your evenings, your mornings, your afternoons, whatever y'all may be doing. And for me, for now, my name is NGS, signing out. And like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night. And yes, Baby Yoda does have drip. He always does. Because this is the way.